Welcome inside the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Centre. But more importantly, welcome to Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, live from Owen Sound. As Ron McLean's down at Harrison Park teeing up the NHL games, I get the great pleasure to tee up tonight's OUA game between the Guelph Griffins and the home team, the Waterloo Warriors. It's bound to be a feisty affair between these two OUA West Division rivals. Guelph comes into the game ranked 10th in the nation, and the Waterloo Warriors come in ranked 8th. It's going to be a battle out there between these two teams. It's a great day for hockey, and it's a great day to celebrate ladies hockey, as we already had a PWHPA game on this ice. It's a great day here in Owen Sound, and I'm going to send it up to the guys that will be calling the game, Mark McKelvey and Adam McGuire.
Hockey Day in Canada, everybody. Welcome inside the Bayshore Community Centre. Please be joined by Adam McGuire here this afternoon. Adam, Adrian mentioned it right off the top. We've got a couple of rivals clashing here, familiar with both hockey clubs. What can we expect today?
Yeah, honestly, two clubs that have found success in two different ways. The Warriors have really made their way this year offensively. They're one of the top scoring teams in the OUA. Meanwhile, Guelph, always a staunch defensive team. So I think that'll be the real battle today. Can Guelph keep Waterloo off the scoreboard early, and can they keep it close into the second and third period?
Well, we know both teams are really fired up for today's game, a great opportunity to display their talents as part of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. What do you think being part of this means to the teams and the players and the staff as well?
Yeah, we talked about how big this game is in the standings, but it's big for university hockey as well in this country. It's one of the best kept secrets in the country, both on the men's and women's side. Women's hockey at the university level has grown leaps and bounds over the course of the last few years. It'll continue to do that. And I think it's a great opportunity to kind of bring university hockey to a stage that it's not usually on and allow some people to see what that secret is and how great it is.
Well, speaking of getting onto that stage and that opportunity to shine, both teams missing players that are away, taking part, representing their country at the University World Games. Talk a bit about how that might impact today's contest on both sides.
Yeah, both teams missing two players. For the Warriors, it's Leah Herford, who left as the OUA's leading scorer. Her teammate Tatum James has since eclipsed her. And the reigning OUA West MVP, which Carly Olivier in the back end. For the Guelph Griffins, they're missing Hannah Tate, who's one of their top line forwards. They're also missing Chi Suzuki, who's representing Team Japan. Those two teams will face off tonight for the gold medal at the FISU World University Games. For the Warriors, it's all about special teams, though. Both of those players logged big minutes on the power play and the penalty kill, so it'll be trying to replace the offense that they find in the power play with Herford and Olivier missing.
All right, well, we're going to go down to ice level before we can get to puck drop. It is time for our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Quand embrasser, porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Dans l'histoire, tu épopée, tes plus brillantes exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
A beautiful rendition of Oh Canada performed by Paige Warner, and we are set on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, live from Owen Sound. It's time for some Usports action, as it'll be the Guelph Griffins and the Waterloo Warriors. Mark McKelvey and Adam McGuire up here in the broadcast booth. Adam, we're taking a look at our starting goaltenders for today's matchup. We'll start down to our left with a netminder who has been making a big impression here this season.
Yeah, Kara Mark really has been pushed into duty, a first-year rec and sports business major. After the injury to Michaela Schnarr, Waterloo starter on opening night, she's gone 9-4 with a 1.80 goals against average and a .928 save percentage in her rookie season, really carrying the load for the Warriors. For the Griffins, it's Martina Fidel, and she'll be in the mix for an OUA All-Star spot at the end of the season. She's got incredible numbers, a .932 save percentage and a 150 goals against. And the Warriors are going to have to try to find some traffic in front of Fidel if they want to crack her early in this game. She's one of the best in the business and will be a real tough test for this Warriors team.
Well, both hockey clubs come in off overtime victories. Let's see, maybe that's a little foreshadowing for what we could have in store. The puck is down, and we are underway. Thanks for joining us on Rogers TV. And as it's a battle through the neutral zone, the Griffins look to get the first possession. Hustling across to get over to that far boards there was Davison trying to dump it in. And also getting in there immediately after it was McGoffin. Here's a pass out into the high slot. Davison with a shot to the net. Mark makes the save. The rebound is controlled by the Griffins. They'll hold it inside the offensive zone, working on a line change as well as they cycle it down low for Tori Verbeek. Verbeek keeps the cycle game going and is now peeling off for a change as the battle rages on down low. Puck comes towards the slot. It's broken up, and now the Warriors will bring it up ice. Murray trying to get across the red line, lost a handle on it, and the Griffins will counter immediately. Dump and attempt got blocked, however, as it's scooped up at the blue line. And here comes James ahead. James passes it across, gets it over to Brooklyn Cole. Cole tries a centering pass, and that's deflected, and the puck will come all the way out towards center. Backing up, Aitchison sending a pass up the gut. McCray was there for Guelph, trying to get possession of it as Cole dumps it in on the backhand. Minute 15 gone here in period number 1. Just a one shot on net. Warriors looking for their first. Aitchison throws it towards the net. Rake goes down into the near corner. Gets tied up there. And the puck will get wedged loose. Parkinson guarding on the right point, waiting to see if that puck comes free. It never did. And now here's a chance. Sprung ahead. Here comes Graham. Graham to the backhand, and Mark makes a real strong save. Challenged early and up to the task.
Yeah, Guelph really coming out of this one with the jump. They had that first zone possession of about 30 or 35 seconds, and then this break, a partial break from Maya Graham, the third-year vet from New Hamburg. It was New Hamburg on New Hamburg crime there, as Mark, the former KW Ranger from New Hamburg, Ontario, stymied Graham on the breakaway.
Strong save. A couple stops already here in the opening 2 minutes, as the Warriors will look to get out of their own end. Sent around the boards, but it's kept in by Davison. So carries right back down into the near corner. Trying to hold it in with McGoffin, and was able to do that. So the Warriors getting pushed back deep in their own end. Duffy's going to move it across, and now it's sent up that left wing side. Return pass over to Duffy, who gets the red line and will just scoop that puck in. Orth will give chase. Caruso looks over both shoulders before bumping it behind the net. Avery Peer is able to get it ahead as it's now flipped down the ice. And we will see the Warriors come back trying to get possession with Cho. Breakout pass is going to get broken up as it's flipped out through the neutral zone. And with the Warriors pressing, a spin pass by Caruso will get it up the right wing side, and it goes all the way down into the Warriors zone. Cheeseman moves it ahead. Opportunity now to spin away from the pressure there from Miller, who did that nicely. Now Olivia Parkinson. Here's a pickoff. Nice move to the backhand and trying to get the shot away. It just did not work. As Waterloo has it just inside their own blue line, and they're able to skip it down the ice. Icing going to be waved off here, so Miller will have to hustle back to get control. Holds it behind her own net. Facing some pressure. There's a steal. Side of the net. Trying to work it loose. Now with it is Pritchard. On the cycle, it goes behind the Griffins goal. Miller's been out there a while, able to get it up the left wing side. And now it's going to get scooped across, and strong play there at the blue line to break things up. Sticks tangled up. Behind that was Aitchison, who did that beautifully. And now the Warriors will chase in as they go into the forecheck. Looking to get the puck back. Here's a chance out the side of the net. Shot got fired there by Andrea Murray. Just missed on the short side. Now jumping on it. Luetti gets a shot off, and that one went over top of the net. Had a bit of a numbers advantage there on that rush. Caruso is going to waste little time coming back across the blue line. Flips the puck in deep. After it was Mayer. Guetti gets it in the corner. Tries to step out. Pass behind the net. That'll get intercepted. And we're going to see our first penalty of the game coming up here. And you mentioned it, Adam, about the Griffins having some good jump in the opening few minutes, but now the Warriors are going to get a chance to go to the power play.
Yeah, and really creative with the speed on the back end for the Warriors. Something we've seen Warriors opponents do in the last few seasons as their defense has matured into a puck-moving blue line is really apply some forecheck pressure on those back end. That time, though, it ended up drawing a penalty for the Warriors to go to the power play here. And the power play's been a strong suit for Waterloo. See if they can get one on the board early.
Jamie McGoffin in the box for tripping. Cho at the point. Mid-blue line was looking to move it across. Down low. Aitchison was pushed off the puck. And now it could be a shorthanded opportunity for the Griffins. It is Verbeek. All by herself as she has to take it down deep into the Warrior zone. Gonna kill some valuable time on the penalty kill here. 30 seconds gone in the penalty to McGoffin. Aitchison will push it ahead now to Joe. Rink-wide pass, and that one is going to get broken up as McRae got in there. Strong play from Trisha Cho to get the puck back. And we'll see if the Warriors can advance and try to get set back up here. Still lots of time to work on the power play. Rate with a strong play. Powers ahead into the corner, and we'll slide it back to the point. Held at the point here. Fennell over to Rate. Rate lost the handle just for a split second and then tried to make a pass through the box. And they're going to lose possession now with 45 seconds left in this penalty.
Really good play by the Griffins there to get sticks in lanes and not allow the cross-seam pass that the Warriors were looking for.
Cheeseman's outlet pass nearly ends up working. Fennell's going to have to go back now to get it. Facing that pressure into the near corner. Puck is just tied up in the skates as Olivier. Part of what's been a good penalty kill so far for Guelph. Warriors still have time to operate. Collision on that far boards and another clear for the Griffins. So the power play isn't going to be able to convert here on that first opportunity for Waterloo.
Guelph's penalty kill second in the OUA. They showed it there in that last 2 minutes.
Certainly did as McGoffin is out of the box. Puck gets flipped up. Looked like it might have clipped the scoreboard here, and the officials did see that, so we'll have a face-off coming up in the neutral zone.
Waterloo's power play was also second heading into this game at 21.4%, but as we mentioned off the top, missing Leah Herford and Carly Olivier, and it affects both power play units, right? Because you've got to bump some players up from that second unit to the first unit, then the second unit gets some new faces, and just no continuity there in the Waterloo power play.
Verbeek dashes in. Diagonal pass out to Pierre. Pierre with a shot to the net, and Mark's going to make the stop on the floater to the goal. As Waterloo still without a shot on net as we approach the 7-minute mark here in the first.
This is probably the exact blueprint that Guelph would like to follow here. Low shots, not a lot of opportunities offensively for the Warriors, and try to keep this one a low-scoring game. Waterloo beat Guelph earlier in the season 6-1 on the first night of the season, but then Guelph forced overtime in a shootout in the second meeting, a 2-1 Waterloo win, much to the liking of Rachel Flanagan and her staff for the Griffins, a little more their style of hockey, even though they came away with the loss.
Olivia Parkinson worked it around the boards. Long pass up ahead for McCarthy. Couldn't get that puck just to settle down as it got swatted away. Knocked out of midair there by Miller. Nicely done. Now we'll hand things off as Mayer tried to come ahead with it. Mayer's going to follow it up, throws it towards the net, off of a skate. And the Warriors will get control. Looking to break out, and the pass was just out of the reach of McCarthy, so it gets sent back in. Griffins are able to change up their defenders as the forwards go to work. Down low, trying to force a turnover. Now dashing ahead is Cole. Brooklyn Cole tried to bank it off the boards and fanned on it. And the Griffins will send it right back in. So it just seems like right now it's been a bit of an uphill battle for the Warriors, but we're only 8 minutes into the contest. Caruso holding it at the line, will send it down low. Having to take a quick look was Fennell, who got cut off, looking to turn behind the net. The battle rages on down low. Puck gets kicked up the boards and chopped ahead. The race is on. Hard back to get it now is Chittick, who just got ahead of Raitt there to move it. And the Griffins are going to dump it right back in. Faccio goes after it. Gets a stick lift in there. Losing an edge and going down there was Fennell. Fennell back to her skates. Ahead for Raitt. Raitt trying to push it over to her forehand. Looks to steer it towards the net. Throws a shot cross crease. Didn't get to the goal. Aitchison's fresh off the bench and comes down the far boards. Stops in the corner. Nice edge work here. Protecting that puck. Brings it up to the right point. Circling the zone. Throws into the slot. Backhand shot. They score! How's that for your first shot of the game?
Yeah, it's Liz Lenardin on the backhand in the slot, but the play really created by Lindsay Aitchison. The strong skater, one of the best in the league from the back end. She came off the bench. She went all the way around behind the net, was able to center the puck, and it was the quick release backhand. There wasn't a lot on it from Lenardin, but Fidel didn't expect it coming from the angle that Lenardin was at, and Liz Lenardin's got her second of the year, and Waterloo's got an early lead.
So Liz Lenardin opens the scoring just ahead of the 9-minute mark here in period number 1. And it is the Warriors in front 1-0. Griffins looking to respond right away, and now they're going to head to a power play as they are able to draw a penalty in the follow-up shift. But I just want to go back to, as you talked about, the great work there from Aitchison. I will say for a quick second, I wondered if she was just kind of running out of real estate there and almost circled the whole zone. But if you put it into the slot, you're going to find a teammate, and it all works out to perfection.
Lindsay Aitchison's a physics major, and she used every bit of her physics knowledge there on the edges of her skate blades. And a tremendous job by Aitchison to maintain possession and get it into a spot where Lenardin could get a backhander away.
So Guelph goes to the power play, looking to respond. Bell is in the box for Waterloo. Guelph on the power play, their first crack at it here this afternoon. As they bring it in across the line, Riley Davison back to the point for Pierre. Avery Pierre's going to move it across. Davison holds. Redirect coming to the net. Save was made. Follow-up opportunity got shot wide. Now Avery Pierre's pass. Getting a stick on it was Cole, who will lift it out on the backhand, and that's going to allow 4 fresh skaters to come over the boards here for Waterloo as they get the penalty killers change. New look on the power play coming up here for the Griffs. As the outlet pass, gonna allow Davies to sprint it in. Drops it back from Miller. Sydney Miller takes a look to the face-off dot, throws it across, was trying for the backdoor tap in. Almost came to fruition.
Yeah, Mark didn't see that puck come across the crease at all, and it was wide open on the far post, just unable to convert though with the Griffins.
Pass hits a skate. Now stolen, an opportunity to step in. Here's Davies, a shot to the goal. Mark makes the save. Miller will hold it. Passes it into the high slot, gets it back. Worked over to that right wing side. Sutherland Case tries to center it, puck up into the air. And getting to it, no problem for Pritchard, who is going to clear it out. So 15 seconds remains in the power play. Guelph has time for one last rush up ice to at least gain the zone with the numbers on their side. Now Sutherland Case is being hassled from behind by Raitt. Puck carried in, but this is going to be offside just in the final seconds of this power play opportunity with 8:58 to go in period number 1.
Yeah, both penalty killing units really well in their first crack tonight. Waterloo's penalty kill dipped below 90% for the first time in over 2 seasons, just 3 nights ago when they allowed 2 power play goals to the Laurier Golden Hawks. And they're at 89.7, which is 4th in the OUA. It looks like they're going to get right back over 90 now with Bell out of the box and back to full strength.
Successful penalty kill. We're back to 5-on-5. Mayer was crashing into the corner. Was trying to power it ahead. Off the boards, but not out. Raitt was already breaking up ice. If that puck gets through, he's going to have a good opportunity. Puck out was underneath Orth there, who took a awkward-looking fall to the ice, but right back up. Now a pass up the middle. Sees Bell flip it in towards the net, and Fidel's not going to take any chances. Just going to glove that puck and hold on to it as we're past the midway point of period number 1. And We talked about the first few minutes, Guelph looking like they had the jump, but if you can't capitalize, usually the other team's going to find their footing, and I think that's what's happened here.
Yeah, the Warriors settling into this one a little bit. This, for the Warriors, a game that's been kind of 3 years in the making. They've tried to play at this Hockey Day in Canada game as long as the city of Owen Sound's tried to host it. So maybe some jitters for them, settling in now, though, and the 1-0 lead will certainly help.
Yeah, it certainly does as you get a little more time into this game. Everybody's had a spin on the ice. Here's Olivier. Passes towards the middle, skipping puck. Got over top of the stick of Hurd. Now Hurd trying to move it to the goal line. Pass towards the net. Up into the air. Was it played with a high stick? It was. The official down in the near corner spotted that, and we will get a stoppage. And obviously important points in the standings on the line here, but also a little other bragging rights and a little cash, actually, as the other night at the Hockey Day in Canada banquet, Cassie Campbell-Pascal, a legendary player, was up on stage. She, a Guelph alumni, said she was going to put up $1,000 for this game to go to the winning program. That was matched by Bobby Ryan, the franchise leader in points and goals here in Owen Sound with the Attack of the OHL, and then the Attack franchise matched that as well. So $3,000 on the line for the winning program, and just love to see the support.
Yeah, it's great, and obviously Cassie, a huge part of this Guelph history with their program, and really helping put OUA hockey on the map. Back when a lot of schools didn't have programs, kind of in the early and mid 90s, it was a huge deal for Cassie to play in Guelph, and the Griffins were one of the top teams in the nation for a long time because of players like Cassie.
One of the most notable alumni, not just for athletics, of course. Coming out of the Royal City as the Griffins go to work here in the offensive zone. Puck goes behind the net, but it just eludes Tori Verbeek, who couldn't reach out to grab it. So Waterloo will advance up ice, and Rape will send a pass out of the reach of James. James gets a stick on this puck now and will challenge Verbeek. Verbeek, pass was into the skates of McGoffin. And Guelph's actually going to reverse it here. The D was looking to change. Now they should be able to get a partial change in as Pierre gets the red line and dumps it in with 6.5 to go in period number 1. 1-0 the score. Waterloo leading Guelph here on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound. Cross center ice. Lenardin, the goal scorer here, will send it ahead. Pritchard gets a stick on it and drives after it into the corner. Tries a centering pass. It sits there at the top of the blue paint. Guelph will look to clear, but Cheeseman kept it in. Comes off the lively end boards here at the Bayshore, and that's one thing you got to get familiar with when you step into this barn. The boards are very lively. Here's a pass out in front. They score! Driving to the net, Andrea Murray puts it home, and Waterloo leads 2-0.
Warriors are going to want to grab that puck. It's Andrea Murray's first career OUA goal, the rookie out of Mississauga. She's been tremendous. She's played in every game for the Warriors this year. It's her first point. She's done everything the coaching staff has asked. She's got wheels for days, and to see her get rewarded here on a big stage has got to be really rewarding for Murray and the Warriors coaching staff. She's been tremendous and made no mistake on the really gorgeous cross-crease pass from Pritchard.
You can see the emotion right there to get that first goal. Goes right to the net, finishes it off. As we've got 14 minutes in the books here in period number 1, and Waterloo has now jumped out to a 2-0 lead. So Andrea Murray getting her name called in the building here from public address announcer Fred Wallace, as the Warriors have the advantage. Out to the right point. Here's a drive to the net. No traffic in front, though, as Chittick let that slap shot go, so an easy save made by Mark. Shots are what will be now 7-3 in favor of Guelph. But they trail in the game 2-0. Faccio send it out. Turning with it. Fennell blew a tire there. Has to get back up, trying to recover. Into a tough battle in the corner there. Got wrapped right up, but was able to get away with it. As Miller's going to hustle back to get control. Sydney Miller turns out from behind the net. Olivier pushed it over to Davies. Here comes Abby Davies. Little fake, and then tried to get a shot away. Falls down. Might have gloved that puck ahead, trying to get back up. Plays it herself. Now swinging behind the goal with it. Olivier drops it at the right point. Shot to the net. Into a pile of skates and sticks. Did not get on goal. Waterloo can come out. It's a 2-on-2. It's going to become now a 1-on-2. As they started to get a line change in. As Dick was trying to make a hop around the D. Now gets it back at the blue line, and Dick's going to send it in. Here. Wheels behind her own net, goes against the grain. Leaving it for McRae, who blindly threw it up the boards. Waterloo can't make them pay, and now Pierre sees an opportunity to dash ahead. So the defender got to the blue line and flips it in. Chasing hard after it down into the corner, McGoffin. Trying to get it out in front. Here holding it now is Tori Verbeek, who cycles for McGoffin in the corner. Tied up. Aitchison took her to the boards to try and separate from the puck. Now Raitt on the pass across. Dumped in, and James is after it. Going behind the net to get to it is Cole. Brooklyn Cole. She is tied up, pinned to the boards, was trying to keep the puck along her stick. McGoffin looks to get it out. But stepping up nicely there to keep it in, that was Cho. Now a bit of a dangerous play coming out in front of the Griffins' net. Turnover. Lenardin going to swing behind the net, protecting it, sends it out to the point. Cho settles it down, back to Lenardin. Sent down beyond the goal line. Griffins looking to clear. And Cho, the second or maybe third time in this shift, did a good job to try and hold it at the point. Ultimately, the Griffins do get it out. And now here is Andrea Murray, fresh off that goal. She pulls up in the near corner, tries to put it into the slot. Cheeseman from the point, a shot. That went off of a leg wide. Stick lift down in the corner. Allows the Warriors to regain possession. Banked out to the point for Cheeseman. Cheeseman waits, lets a shot go right to the net. But Fidel will make the save and holds on with 2.5 to go here in the first.
And Maddie Pritchard in front of the net, that's somewhere that she's posted up regularly. She's a thorn in the side of anybody that tries to move her out from the blue paint. She did cause a little bit of an impediment there for Fidel, but she was able to track the point shot well enough to hold for a face-off and get the Griffins a chance here to regroup.
False start on the face-off, as they'll do it again. Face-off will stay to the left of Martina Fidel. So thrown out of the draw is Bell for the Warriors. Coming in to take it there, was trying to get the win with Orth. Penalty coming up here. And it will go against Waterloo. You could see from the reaction of McCarthy, didn't necessarily agree with it. Arms pointed at the officials, asking, really? But there will be a penalty call.
Yeah, she doesn't like it, but it's an easy one. She just tries to get stick on puck, but a bit of a can opener there off the draw as McCarthy tried to force that offensive zone turnover a little too physically and got the stick in the feet. So an easy call for the officials, and the Griffins back to the power play.
Second opportunity on the power play for Guelph. Here, mid-blue line, Davison across. Here's a shot fired. Sutherland Case was trying to get it through the bodies. Here with the shot off of a stick. So Waterloo looking to continue to piling up and not allowing anything to get to the net. And there is an easy clear sent down the ice by Cheeseman. Out to play it, Fidel. Moved it into the corner. And now Guelph will get control. Around the boards and charging after it with a ton of speed here. This is Maya Graham. Rims it around the boards. And as it sits there, Pritchard, first player to it. No problem to shoot it right down the ice. 50 seconds has elapsed here in this power play opportunity for the University of Guelph. And some good penalty killing being done here. Aggressive by Pritchard, who will now head off to the bench. A successful shift as her squad is halfway home in this penalty kill situation. And right now, Guelph's not getting anything going on the power play.
You mentioned the aggressiveness. That's a hallmark of the Waterloo penalty kill. Last year, they scored 4 shorthanded goals in just 14 games. They were, in fact, +2 killing penalties a year ago. And part of it is just the aggressiveness in the offensive zone. They don't allow Guelph here to break out very cleanly, and Guelph in turn, hasn't been able to establish any zone time in this power play.
They're running out of time in this power play. Sutherland Case carries it in. Might have a step, but will curl on the half boards. Passes it out to the line for Pierre, who can step in with a shot and was trying to go high glove, just missed the goal. Nice setup there, and good patience shown from Sutherland Case to get the look for Pierre. Now to the point, Davison with a heavy drive, but it was wide of the net. Penalty about to expire. Out of the box comes McCarthy. Griffins are now 0 for 2 on the power play. 25 seconds remains here in period number 1. Long stretch pass up the right wing side, deflected. McCarthy with the fresh legs will charge right after it into the corner. Davison tries to get body positioning and will break out. 12 seconds to go. Thrown over to the left wing side, high off the glass ahead. Chasing after it now is Coolius, who tries to steer it to the goal. Coolius can jump on it, it's loose, passes it out in front. Unable to get a stick on it was Faccio. Here's another shot at the horn. It'll get deflected up and out of play. So the Griffins have a close call there in the final seconds. The Warriors, though, will come away unscathed with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Jessica Coolius, the foot speed nearly created Guelph's best chance, and probably was their best chance on goal here, as we see Coolius with the rolling puck, just tried to poke it ahead, got it up over the sprawling Waterloo defender Aitchison, and Mark couldn't corral the bouncing puck and was that close to a 2-1 game here at the closing seconds of the first period.
Yeah, right through the legs there of Faccio. Coolius got it out in front off the good effort. So the Griffins won't get anything there, and they'll have to go to the dressing room with a 2-goal deficit in front of them as we are 20 minutes down here this afternoon. Our first intermission is coming up next on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. It's Lightning, Flames,
Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
forever rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
Score!
January 21st on Sportsnet.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
forever rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
It was John's graduation. We were so proud. We all got together for a picnic. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and we listened. It helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of John, because now he has a real future to look forward to.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, live from Owen Sound. Usports action going on here this afternoon at the Bay Shore. Women's hockey seeing the Guelph Griffins trailing the Waterloo Warriors 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Well, it's been a wonderful week here in Owen Sound as we celebrate this great game. It is Canada's national winter sport. It is hockey. And up here in Owen Sound, we've produced several. You can add even more to that. Standouts over the years, and particularly the goaltending position. That has always been a strong point here in Owen Sound, dating back multiple decades. And right now, why don't we take a closer look at what is the goalie factory here in Owen Sound.
champion and PWHPA star Shay Tiley is just the latest in a long line of great local tenders who either hailed from or refined their game in Grey County. That pedigree began with Owen Sound's Benny Grant, whose professional career spanned 3 decades in the NHL. Neighbor Harry Lumley followed Grant into the league and won a Stanley Cup and a Vezina Trophy en route to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Hometown hero Les Binkley finally received an opportunity with Pittsburgh at the age of 33 and played 5 seasons with the Penguins. He then went on to win 2 Stanley Cups as a scout for the organization. Kevin Weeks' heroics with the Owen Sound Platers helped him become a second-round choice of the Florida Panthers in the 1993 NHL entry draft. His partner for 2 seasons was Jamie Storr, who led Canada to consecutive World Junior Championships and was chosen 7th overall by Los Angeles in the 1994 NHL Draft. Owen Sound's Curtis Sanford starred for the OHL Platers before he played 6 seasons in the NHL and is currently a goaltending coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Jordan Binnington backstopped the Owen Sound attack to the 2011 OHL Championship and the St. Louis Blues to the 2019 Stanley Cup. The goaltending factory in Owen Sound shows no signs of a shutdown in the foreseeable future, except to the opposition.
Welcome back ringside. I'm standing here with Tori Verbeek of the Guelph Griffins. Tori, you're down too early, but you're out shooting your opponent. How do you assess the first period?
Yeah, I think we're working hard. We just got to keep battling here, get pucks to the net, and I'm sure it's going to come for us.
Now, you're from Flesherton, not far down the road. How does it feel to have Hockey Day in Canada and Owen Sound? And do you have any memories of coming to the Bayshore as a kid?
Yeah, it's awesome that it's here. I have lots of fans here tonight, and I remember being these little kids coming to the Bayshore, cheering on the older kids, looking up to them, so it's proud to be them watching me now.
That's awesome. It's all what the game's all about, right? Getting to know the kids, seeing their smiles on their faces. Now, you lead the Guelph Griffins in scoring so far this season. Is that the type of player you like to be, put the puck in the back of the net?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone loves to put the puck in the back of the net. I personally think I'm a more defensive player, but I battle hard, go to the net, and they've been coming this season, so gotta keep doing that.
Now, you're a Human Connects major like myself. What's the future plans?
Not quite sure, but I'd love to work with athletes still in the future if I could.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Tori Verbeek of the Guelph Griffins. I'm going to send it upstairs to Mark.
My husband is a wonderful man and a great father when he's not drinking. I'm so angry he chooses alcohol over us. If he really loved us, he'd stop drinking, right? My counselor suggested I try Al-Anon. I didn't understand why. I'm not the one with the problem, but I'm glad I went. Do you worry about someone's drinking? You are not alone. Al-Anon or Alateen can help. Call 866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Triple rivals!
Jets, Sens,
What a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm Lois Taylor.
And I'm Diane Austin. And we're with It's Happening Here with Lois and Diane. And we're in downtown Owen Sound. Beautiful downtown Owen Sound. Nice sunny day.
Yes, we have lots of exciting things coming for you this fall.
We have anything from going to Rintoul's Pools and Spas. We're going to be going to Popeyes. We're actually going to be going to Treasure Hunt. There's so many things that businesses we're going to be seeing.
We look forward to seeing you all.
Come and join us on It's Happening Here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me for my next show where my guests will be from the Owen Sound Police Service. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
back side of the Bayshore. It's currently 2-0 for the eighth seeded, nationally ranked Waterloo Warriors. I'm going to send it up to Mark and to Adam for the play-by-play.
Much, Adrian. Yes, Mark McKelvey and Adam McGuire back with you. First intermission here on this Saturday afternoon. A game that maybe in the first few minutes you wondered if Waterloo wasn't quite sure it started yet. A bit of a slow start, but they came away keeping things tied there 0-0, and then ultimately able to capitalize on a couple of chances, and the game really turned at that point.
Yeah, a couple of saves from Karamark early on, maybe settled the nerves a little bit for Waterloo, and they were really able to turn it into a couple of good offensive opportunities and a couple of goals, right? The first one, obviously, Lindsay Aitchison's edge work, incredible to generate that opportunity for Liz Lennard, and then the rookie Andre Murray with her first career goal. Two big ones, I think, for the Warriors, given how that first 4 or 5 shifts were for Waterloo, getting the jitters out.
Exactly that. Let's take a look at the 2 goals from period number 1. We'll start first with that opening goal from Liz Lennardin, and you mentioned it. Aitchison did some great work down low and then swinging up high into the zone. Here's a look, though, at the second goal first. This was Andrea Murray's goal, first of her Usports career, and you could see how happy her teammates were for her.
Yeah, the tic-tac-toe passing play really solid there for Murray to finish.
And then there's a look at the opening goal. Lennardin was able to get a spinning backhand shot away after Aitchison basically circled the zone, then passed it out into the slot, and with that, it is 2-0. Now, 2 goals coming on just 4 shots on net. That's not going to sit very well with Guelph here after really, I'd say, probably spending a little more time in the offensive zone than the Warriors did. What do you think kind of the game plan now becomes for them, trailing in this one down by 2?
Yeah, so now for them it's the next goal, right? We've always heard about this. The 2-goal lead in hockey can be the most dangerous one. 3 goals, though, against this Waterloo team, the way that they'll probably change their game plan to play a little more defensively, that's going to be a tall task. So they need to get the next one, and they probably would like to get it early here. They probably thought they deserved a better fate in that first period, and that's got to be the message, I think, for Rachel Flanagan in the room now is, you know, we're there. We just need to get one past Karamark.
Yeah, you made a really good point, though, about Karamark making a couple big stops early in this one to keep things scoreless, and then her team helps her out by getting a couple and giving her a little bit of a cushion to work with as we head towards the second. Let's take a look at the scoring summary just to show you how we did get to this 2-0 lead. We mentioned it, Lennardin strikes, and then Murray gets her first as it is 2-0 after 20 minutes, and as I mentioned, shots on goal 7-4 in favor of the Griffins. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have the puck drop for period number 2. You're watching Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada right here on Rogers TV.
I'm Gagweg. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's lightning, flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
leaps, Habs,
Ripper Rivals!
Jets, Sens,
What a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Lovely viewers, it's your host of On the Couch, Antoine El Hashim, reminding you to tune in for every episode of Season 9 of the longest running and most loved local queer talk show on Rogers TV. Check it out.
A beautiful aerial shot of the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. One of the happening spots this week as part of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Last night, a wonderful event. It was the Celebrity Alumni Game. What a great evening that was. And Adam, we were just talking in the intermission about all the festivities going on this week, and the Waterloo Warriors taking it all in. I think having a great experience getting up here a couple days early.
Yeah, it was awesome for the Warriors. They ran a few coaching clinics. I know the associate coach for the Warriors, Dolly Meggs, of course, an Owen Sound native. A real key part of having the Warriors participate in this Hockey Day in Canada. She was able to participate in the game last night as well with head coach Sean Regan, who's strapped on the skates again, a former OHLer himself with the old Brantford Alexanders and the Windsor Spitfires. So for the Warriors, the whole week has been a tremendous opportunity for them. They played at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium in the Battle of Waterloo at the Auditorium against Laurier on Wednesday, and since then it's been Hockey in Canada, so a really memorable week for the student athletes at Waterloo.
Yeah, absolutely, and Dolly kicked off Hockey Day in Canada today on the national broadcast right alongside Ron McLean, and I thought it was just a wonderful way to get the festivities going this afternoon. And right now she's smiling as her Warriors are up 2-0, looking for more. Pritchard off the left wing, a shot, and a glove save is going to be made there by Martina Fidel as Pritchard takes a hard spill behind the net, and Fidel has to come up big here in the opening 23 seconds.
Yeah, not the first shift that the Griffins certainly wanted there after, again, as we said in the intermission, probably thinking they deserved a better fate in the first. Waterloo gets the first chance, and Fidel, who's got some of the best numbers in the OUA this year, had to come up big to keep it a 2-goal lead for Waterloo.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned those numbers. When we introduced the starting goaltenders today, they're just eye-popping. You see them come up on the screen, and you think those are just dazzling, and then allowing 2-on-4, that'll hurt your numbers a little bit, but still a long way to go in this game, and she made a strong save off that 2-on-1. Might get challenged again here now. It's going to be kept in at the point by Cho. Down into the corner, a pass off the side of the net, held behind the goal, and going to be pushed out by Raitt to the half boards for Cole. Now Raitt protects. A little toe drag move, knocked to the ice, reaching for it, and the Griffins come the other way. Numbers on their side. Here's a one-timer to the side of the net, as it just did not develop. As Hurd nearly got it over on that right side. Behind the net, Hurd now has control. Cho is going to steal it away. Immediately, though, feels some pressure. Getting onto it was Olivier, who took a shot, but it was blocked. Cho had that puck following her around. Puck kept in at the point. Stepping in off the left side, getting a shot on net. Save was made by Mark. And the Griffins looking maybe to turn the heat up a bit. Graham passes into the corner. Getting pushed towards the line was Hurd. Miller keeps it in. Guelph is working on a line change. Hustling to the near side. This is Graham. Back to the point for McRae. McRae, wrist shot to the net. That one just wide of the goal. Trying to get her stick in there was Mayer. Warriors flip it down the ice. Racing after it and getting to this one early with some good hustle was Carly Orth.
Cho and Cheeseman, by the way, in that last shift, a few great plays. First, Cheeseman made that 3-on-1, a 3-on-2, and broke it up, and then Cho with a big shot block at the end of that long shift.
Davison slips the puck across over to Avery Peer. Sent back for Davison. Tremendous skater slipping into the zone. And there's a can opener that's going to get called as Davison came in with a lot of speed and will draw the penalty, and Guelph is going to their third power play of the game.
Yeah, another easy call, I think, for the officials on this one. The stick right in the feet of Davison. And I think it'll be Aitchison who's whistled. Bell was there as well, and it is Aitchison. So that's a big loss for the Warriors in the penalty kill. One of their veteran defenders that'll be off for 2 or less.
So Guelph to the power play in hopes of getting on the board here, trailing in the contest 2-0. Pass out towards McGoffin, didn't get to her. And now Pritchard will shoot it down the ice. Lenardin was hot in pursuit as McGoffin looks to turn upstream, and Pritchard gets the stick in there to disrupt for a moment. Davison now passes it to Pierre, and Pierre is going to flip it in. Taking a look over her right shoulder is Cho, who tries to take it to the corner. Out to the point, Chittick sends a hard pass across. Miller with a shot, that went wide. Sutherland Case has it in the near corner. Pass behind the net. Settled down here by Verbeek. She'll roll it out to the point. Pass towards the slot is going to get denied as the Warriors try to change part of their penalty kill. Coming right back in quickly was Hurd, who got a shot to the net. Right pad save by Mart. Halfway through this power play opportunity for Guelph. And now they're going to have to retreat back to their own end to get possession. Back to get it is Megan Chittick. Chittick's pass missed the intended target. Waterloo will get another clear as they shoot it right down the ice. James is going to go in. Looking maybe to create a little havoc here on the penalty kill. Cole in there to help as well. Now Guelph brings it ahead. 30 seconds left in this power play opportunity. It is carried in here by Davies. A shot to the net. Mark made the save. Cole tries to clear on the backhand, but it was blocked. Settled down by Graham. Into the corner for Hurd. Slides it back to the point. Davison takes a look. Moves it across the blue line for Pierre. Pierre's going to slide it down behind the goal line. Cole trying to tie it up. Stick just got swatted out of the hands there of Buetti. Out of the box comes Aitchison. So once again, Guelph can't capitalize on a power play opportunity. They're 0 for 3 in the contest. Pierre has it at the point. A lot of time and space. Goes over to Davison with a hard drive, and that one might have gone off the netminder Mark.
They get there in the mask.
Yeah. You can see her shaking her helmet. Guelph trying to turn it back in, but they turn it over instead. Here is James. James to the corner. Tries to throw it across the crease, but it was blocked. And it's going to be flipped out on the backhand, so Waterloo will come back to get it. Cho, backhand pass picked off here by Mayer. Mayer can split right through, and sweeping in there. Fennell got the stick to knock it aside as Mayer's eyes lit up looking for that opportunity.
Just an incredible poke check from Fennell, diving back to make sure the Griffins aren't able to get that breakaway from right around the hash marks.
Now a pass through the middle misses, and we are going to see an icing call going against Waterloo with 14:41 remaining here in the second.
There's associate coach Dolly Meggs for the Warriors with head coach Sean Regan, and Dolly has been a big star from behind the bench for the Warriors this week, as we mentioned, but also such an integral part of this hockey program. She'll be a head coach in this league someday. It might be with this program or another, but she's one of the rising stars in this league from behind the bench.
Another stop made by Mark. I think it's safe to say for all the fun a lot of people are having, Dolly's probably right up there as one who's enjoying this the most coming back home.
Yeah, it's been a great time for Dolly to come back home. She's put a lot of time and effort into this league, both as a player and a coach, and it's great to see her get some of the accolades she's gotten this week.
Chittick with a shot, hit a shin pad. Wraparound opportunity goes off the side of the net as Sutherland Case tried to power it around the goal. Still in there battling. Sutherland Case keeps the puck moving. Her stick is tied up as she's doing a little bit of a dance there, spinning around with Cheeseman as they were in a hot battle. Cheeseman in there, goes up against Verbeek. Verbeek escapes, gets a little time and space, throws it towards the front of the goal. Hurd circles the net, passes it out towards the blue line. Chittick has a look now, throws it in front, and that one was stopped by Mark, but all alone in front was Hurd, and the Warriors maybe caught a bit of a break there as they left the forward undetected. Rolling puck comes back just inside the Waterloo blue line. Hurd had to wait a moment for Olivier to get back onside before playing it. Shoots the puck in. Cho from the near corner reverses behind the net for Cheeseman. Cheeseman can take a look, goes up the right wing side. Murray tries to steer it out, but it was blocked. Now Cole was on it for a moment. Cole and Olivier collided. Puck is held in once again by the Griffins, who are spending a considerable amount of time here in the opening several minutes of period number 2 inside the offensive zone. Still nothing to show for it on the scoreboard as they trail 2-0. Now Faccio got it down low. Calling for the pass was Miller, sliding in towards the slot. Didn't get to her cleanly. Guelph has to come back to their own blue line, and they threw it up ice. Cole was there to break it up. Miller trying to pass it up to the far blue line. Swatted down, and a D-to-D pass. We'll see Aitchison now dash ahead. Aitchison got upended, and there will be a penalty called here. Extra skater on the ice with the delayed penalty. Another big collision. We have at least a 1 penalty coming up. Aitchison with a move, still controls a shot to the net. Save is made, puck is loose. Jumping on it, they score, but the whistle went. Coming into the fray to get a shot away was Parkinson, but the whistle went before it went in the goal.
Yeah, the call might be that Alexi Olivier touched that puck first, or might have been Tiana Faccio, actually. Really close call here. The Warriors want an explanation. They are going to go to the power play, and you'll see the call here where Aitchison was thrown into the sideboards that drew the call. That was Mela Mayer. And Warriors maybe a little hard done by. I thought they could have had a third goal, but they will go to the power play to try to find their footing here in the second, which has been all Guelph.
Clearing attempt is going to be knocked down by Cole. So the Warriors go to work. Pass down low. Aitchison from a sharp angle was stopped. Able to retrieve the puck and slip it back out. Cho passes it across. There's a wrist shot across the crease. Aitchison at the side of the net was trying to get her stick on it. Cho with a drive. That is stopped. Puck in front. They score! James on the power play, and it's 3-0 Waterloo.
James on the power play, a familiar refrain this year. It's her league-leading 8th power play goal of the season, her league-leading 12th goal overall. And Tatum James, that's how she scores those goals in the power play. She posts up right in front of the net, rebounds, tips. Generally, it's trying to convert some cross-crease feeds from Leah Herford, who's obviously away from the team right now, but no worry for James. She's able to find that loose puck off the lively end boards, which you mentioned, Mark. A bounce that I don't think Martina Fidel counted on. It ended up on the stick of Tatum James, and Waterloo's got the all-important third goal.
8:15 of period number 2. It becomes a 3-0 game. A power play marker. 3-0 now for Waterloo. And almost similarly to period number 1, it's a slow start for Waterloo, where they're on their heels to begin the period. This one a little longer than what we saw in the first, but they go to that power play and they're able to turn the tide. They have full control up 3-0, and Guelph really needs to find a response quickly. Now a pass was just out of the reach of Hurd. Twisting and turning. Fennel. Hurd stays right on her. Fennel gets away and goes off the boards and out. Now McCarthy comes in there, battling for it. Pass just out of the reach of Pritchard. McCarthy came slicing through. Dumped in now by the Warriors. And back to get it. That was Davies. Good forechecking pressure here by Waterloo. Forces a turnover. Stepping in off the right point is Cheeseman. She spills to the ice but kept it deep. Now getting back to her post as Guelph tried to go up the middle. Stick lift. Slows that down. And Orth gets a chance. Orth trying to slice through. Got a shot on net, and the save is made. Fidel will get the stop there as Orth with some good strength shown to get the scoring opportunity.
Yeah, that's a big part of Carly Orth's game. She's really solid on her skates, and she's got a long reach. So saw all of her skill set on that rush. She split the D, got right in on goal. Didn't get the shot away she probably wanted to, but really created something that Fidel had to meet and created an offensive zone faceoff opportunity here for Waterloo.
Cheeseman will keep the puck in as Dick gets taken to the boards. Puck is going to be fished free there by McCrae. And now it's sent out off of a leg. Icing not going to happen here as it just wasn't enough on it. And it's around the boards by Cheeseman for Cho. That D pairing has had a real strong game and logging lots of minutes here in the opening half of regulation. As we are past the 10-minute mark in period number 2. Long pass up the middle, intercepted by Cho, who read it beautifully. She'll hand it off as it's going to get dumped in by Kathy Verth, who goes for a change. Now some room to operate here for Davison. Takes matters into her own hands. She'll curl back. allowing her teammates to get established in the offensive zone. Good shift there from Davison. On the rush, will go for a change. Shot towards the goal, didn't get through. And Cole is on it. Cole had her stick lifted. Chittick was trying to keep it in. Trying to bring it back in. A Sutherland Case along with Verbeek. Verbeek falls to the ice, will get back up. Was hoping to get a pass out in front. That never did develop. Waterloo's going to bank it out, and it's James. James getting her stick in there. Now an opportunity for Verbeek one-on-one. She lets a shot go, but it was blocked. Verbeek from the corner. Banks it back to the blue line. Rolling puck, settled down. Here's Chittick. McGoffin down low. Verbeek. She holds on to it. Kept to the perimeter. Across now, Caruso. Shot by Chittick to the net. Save was made. Aitchison in a tough battle there with Sutherland Case as those two have been dueling. Now Chittick unable to keep it in as it got chipped by her by James. Icing waved off as the puck was deflected. Caruso is back to get it, and she'll make a pass. Breakout developing here for Guelph, but a pass up the side. Looked like it was going to be icing, got waved off at the last second. Hustling after it was Hurd trying to make something happen. Now up the left wing. Pritchard got a piece of it. Leonard in. Goes hard towards the boards. Couldn't get the puck shot in. Griffins will bank it off the boards and out as it comes just inside the Waterloo blue line. Shots have tightened up in the game as it's now 13-10 in favor of the Griffins. Pritchard at center ice looks to dump it in on the back end. Guelph will respond by doing the exact same thing, flipping it out. Now over the line. That is Duffy. Duffy knocked down, and a penalty is coming up here to Miller as Miller just upends Duffy, who will go to the bench and see her team head to the power play.
Yeah, and that'll be a contact to the head penalty, so we'll have to see if it's a 2-minute variety or 4. I think it's going to be 4 for head checking, and so a huge opportunity here for the Warriors, who scored on their last power play, to extend this lead. Yeah, 4 minutes on the clock here, so Sydney Miller will sit for the 4, and Waterloo's got a chance here to blow it open.
Big opportunity. Cole tries to thread the needle across, but it went off of a skate. Guelph's going to clear. Cho really has to hustle. Aggressive push in there to the zone shown by Maya Graham. Graham now nearly picked off the pass, but it did get across to James. James steps off the left wing, carries it behind the net. She scored a power play goal on the last opportunity for Waterloo. She'll post up in front. Over to James at the side. Cole lets a shot go. Sprawled out was Martina Fidel. Shot didn't hit the net. Pass down low. Aitchison moves it into the corner. Here's Tatum James. They'll pass it over now to Raitt. Her shot partially deflected. Aitchison has a stick tied up in her skates, and the Griffins will sweep it free, trying to clear it. And it did just get over the line as Graham might have been a little tired there, was hoping to get the change, and ultimately will on the offside call.
Yeah, not too soon for Avery Peer, who took that shot block off the inside of her foot. Doesn't look any worse for wear, but was slow to get up. She's getting some attention over in the Guelph bench now, but a break for the Griffins to get that whistle and get a change in penalty killing unit.
McGoffin wins the face-off. Guelph tries to clear it out. First attempt didn't work, but McGoffin's going to get a second crack at it, and she'll move it down the ice. Leonard in, drops the puck back, and curling with it is Fennell. Fennell falls to the ice as she got rid of it. Turnover as Verbeek kept hounding the Warriors there. Now Chittick will step up. Verbeek comes back. So Waterloo having some difficulties getting back across the red line. They have to start from behind their own net, and Fennell, once again, will spin away from the pressure. She throws it across over to Orth. Orth can skate it in. Facing some pressure from Davey, she rims it around. Pritchard came crashing through. Warriors get possession. Fennell at the right point. Moves it over to Cheeseman. Cheeseman with the shot, just missed on the blocker side. Bedell's looking over both shoulders trying to find where it is. A jam play at the side of the net didn't work. Pritchard lets a shot go, but it was blocked. It comes out to Fennell mid-blue line. Moves it over now, Lenardin. Back to Fennell with a point shot. That was stopped. Kick save made. Rebound out to Lenardin. Moves it into the corner for Carly Orth, who was bringing it out towards the top of the zone. Into the corner for Orth. Going after it now, Pritchard behind the net. A minute and a half to go in this power play for Waterloo as Guelph gets a clear. It was a double minor called. Now behind the net, Fennell. Turnover, we're trying to wrap it around. Faccio, but that was going to get broken up. So 3 minutes gone in the power play for Waterloo. Guelph is 3/4 of the way home on this penalty kill. 4.5 remaining here in period number 2. Aitchison in the corner. Settles it down. She'll pass it to the blue line for Cho. Great. Throws it hard across. Was looking for a redirect. Is right in the middle in the slot is James. James trying to get positioning here for the screen. A point shot didn't get through. Faccio blocked it, and now she'll try to clear. On the backhand, she got broken up there by James. That allows Waterloo to keep the pressure on. James calling for it. She gets the pass. Tatum James. Over now to Cho. Trisha Cho waits for Rate. Rate with the hard wrist shot, and that one was wide of the goal. And it comes hot off the boards and all the way down the ice.
Some really solid job there by the Griffins. 2 or 3 times the Warriors tried to get that cross seam pass to the near side post. They weren't able to convert it.
Penalty does expire. Out of the box comes Miller. She's back into the game after serving that double minor. Waterloo continues to control in the offensive zone. Chittick behind the net, trying to get rid of it. Miller will take a look, and nice delay as she slides the puck over, giving it off to McGoffin, who got up to the blue line and dumps it in. Verbeek has really been displaying her speed. She got in quickly to the puck. Sutherland Case holds it now. Cycles into the corner for McGoffin. A return pass. Sutherland Case coming to the net, and the shot goes over top of the goal. Real nice setup there from the Griffins. Now at the blue line, they lose it. Pritchard just overskates it, and Sutherland Case will try to come across the blue line. Warriors are able to stymie that, and now Duffy will have an opportunity to get it out. Got herself into a little bit of trouble as it got tied up in her skates, but it is shot down the ice. This is going to go for icing with 2:34 to go here in period number 2, and the best scoring opportunity maybe of the afternoon for the Griffins there.
Yeah, that top line, Tori Verbeek, Jamie McGoffin, and Maeve Sutherland Case have been a real problem for Waterloo this afternoon, specifically in this second period, and maybe a stick in there on the chance from Sutherland Case that directed that puck high over the glove side, but an A1 scoring opportunity that I'm sure Maeve Sutherland Case would like back. The rookie out of Hamilton, all kinds of time and space, just couldn't pick the top corner.
Into the final 2.5 of period number 2. Waterloo leading Guelph 3-0. Hurd tried to take a swing at it. And if the Warriors are quick here, they've really got numbers on their side. 4-on-2. Pritchard to the line, got cut off. And she took a bit of a bump there from McCrae. Now Orth was reaching for it. Cheeseman tried to keep it in. Guelph does get it out. Puck got right in between Hurd and Cho. Ultimately, the Warriors prevail. Stick went right off the side of the helmet there of McCrae. She'll shake it off, and Orth now tries to make her way through a couple of defenders, but that does not develop, and now chasing after it. Faccio got her stick in to poke it loose. She centers it in front. It comes right through the slot. Nobody in a white jersey got it. Instead, here comes Brooklyn Cole dashing down the left wing side. Cole lets a shot go, was trying to go high short side. Just missed there, but a dazzling looking rush as Orth has it in her skates in front of the bench. Faccio will play it back. Chittick gets an opportunity to work with it now. She gets the blue line and shoots it around the boards. 1:12 to go here in period number 2. Half boards battle as the puck spills to the blue line. Sent down low. Aitchison tries to clear it, and getting her stick in there to deflect the puck. Up and out of play was McGoffin, and we'll get a stoppage with just over a minute remaining.
Yeah, one of the quickest players in the OUA, Brooklyn Cole, the kinesiology major from Kitchener, a former KW Ranger. Real dazzling rush there, as you said, Mark, on the left wing side. Tried to go short side, didn't miss by much. It would have been a highlight reel goal had she been able to catch that top corner on the short side of Fidel.
Great, nearly had a breakaway there. She blocked a pass in her skates. Here's Avery Peer across the blue line. Peer throws it towards the front of the goal. Sutherland Case takes a spin. Back to Peer at the blue line. Across now. Davison fakes the shot. She'll just throw it across. Nobody got a stick on it. Into the far corner. McGoffin down low. Half a minute to go here in period 2. Waterloo will look to clear it out as Cho goes off the end boards over to her D partner Cheeseman. Outlets it up the right wing side. Rake was tied up. Stick in her skates, puck underneath her. And despite falling to the ice, Cole was able to shuffle that puck out. Now Davison looking to cut across the line, but her teammates were changing, and we'll get an offside call.
And for the Warriors, they're trying to weather the storm here in the last minute. Guelph's really turned up the pressure in the offensive zone, specifically when the Warriors have possession of the puck under the goal line, trying to cause some turnovers. We saw it in the 4-minute power play as well from Guelph that nearly caused some headaches for the Warriors.
Davies goes wide, throws it towards the goal. That one just trickles into the corner. Waterloo can hustle, but a pass hit the lines and went right into the skates, so that kills the rush. And there's the horn to end period number 2 as Waterloo adds one more, and they go into the break up 3-0.
Yeah, the Warriors, again, a story much like the first period. Guelph came out with the pressure early on, but Waterloo got the only goal after they regrouped and got their footing, and they've got a 3-0 lead here heading into the third.
So the Waterloo Warriors are in full command. 20 minutes to go on this Saturday afternoon. Stick around, our second intermission is coming up on the other side of the break as Adrian Musso is going to have a special guest. Lindsay Aitchison from the Waterloo Warriors will be dropping by. You're watching Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada right here on Rogers TV.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Stars, Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
Ripper Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm Barb Crumpus, Mayor of the Municipality of Meaford. We value Rogers TV as the partner in providing you with the latest news, activities, and events happening in your community. I invite you to watch Meaford Council meetings on Rogers TV to stay informed and to learn how to communicate with the municipality on topics that matter most.
Do you have something to share? Let everyone know about your next meeting, your need for volunteers, or your fundraising event on the Rogers TV Community Billboard. Send us your words and we'll bring them to life on Rogers TV and rogerstv.com. When it's time to spread the word, go to rogerstv.com to add your announcement to the Community Billboard.
Welcome back inside the Bayshore. I'm sitting ringside with Lindsay Aitchison of the Waterloo Warriors. Lindsay, you have two assists on the day already, and one was a highlight reel where you circled the zone and fed wife and the player in the slot. Sorry about that. How do you think of your performance today?
I would say I feel pretty confident in how I'm doing, but I think it helps to have a really great team around you. So.
Absolutely. You guys played at the Odd on Wednesday night. Now you're here at the Bayshore tonight. How do you think of the atmosphere that's been of the two buildings?
Oh, it's so fun to play in front of a crowd. Like when people are cheering for you and the building is full, definitely makes a difference in how you play.
And the building's full with a lot of young female athletes, just like yourself. How cool is it that you come off the ice and you're signing autographs to all these fans?
It's amazing. I mean, I guess like to help grow the female game and inspire younger players, it's a privilege, and I'm really happy I can help with that.
That's awesome that you have that way of thinking. Now Leah, her foot is gone to the FISU games, and that's a big loss to your team, but people are stepping up.
Oh yeah, I think, well, we also have Carly Olivier, my D partner, is gone out there, and they're lighting it up out there, and definitely we have to have some younger players that step up, and I think we're doing a great job of that, but we definitely miss them a lot.
One of those players is Tatum James, who scored there in the second period, the lone goal of the second period. What do you think of her performance?
Tatum James, she's awesome. She's actually a really big leader on our team, like on the ice and off the ice. She has a great shot. I love playing on the power play with her. She's awesome. Now,
20 minutes left. Your guys are up by 3. What's it going to take to get the W against your rivals?
I think we definitely have to clean up our D zone a bit. We have to play man up, be simple, keep pucks in front of us, and just keep working hard.
Thank you for this, Lindsay.
Yeah, thanks.
That's Lindsay Atchison of the Waterloo Warriors. Stay tuned for much more on the other side of the break.
It was my daughter's birthday. She was blowing out the candles on our cake when we heard coming from the TV. So we stopped and listened, and it helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of my daughter's birthday, because now she gets to keep having them.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Rummen would rather say you cross the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run. I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
No! Just get her into a boat. No!
Chloe! Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Triple Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Back inside the Bayshore, Tatum James scores her 12th of the year to put the Waterloo Warriors up by 3. I'm going to send it up to Mark and to Adam to recap the second period.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Yes, we are going to take a look back at period number 2. Adam McGuire, Mark McKelvey with you on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada here in Owen Sound. And the Waterloo Wolves have a 3-0 advantage. But again, coming out of the gates fast in that period was the Guelph Griffins. It has to be a little discouraging that they weren't able to get anything past Mark.
Yeah, sure. For the Guelph Griffins, they thought they were going to come and steal that third goal. They certainly looked like they could have early on. You get the sense that the tide was maybe going to turn if they could have got one past Karamark. They weren't able to, and then the penalty problems kind of started for Guelph, and the Warriors were able to get one on the power play, have another 4-minute power play where they didn't have a ton of A1 chances, but it was 4 minutes off the clock. And so for the Warriors, firmly in control of this one now after 2 periods.
They definitely are. We'll take a look back at period number 2. Might check out that goal and take a look at the scoring summary. But ultimately here, if you're Waterloo and you're up 3-0, as we get a look at what made the game 3-0, it was the lively end boards that come into play here as it comes out to Tatum James. Now up 3-0 going towards the third. Feeling pretty confident. One of those that we know this team can keep the puck out of their own net. Just clamp down on D and might be able to get this one to the finish line.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to watch here in this final 20 minutes. Waterloo is a team that pushes the pace offensively. I've talked to head coach Sean Regan in the past. In the offseason, they actually spoke with Steve Spott, a former Kitchener Rangers head coach and obviously an assistant in the NHL, about generating offense off the rush. But now that game plan doesn't really work with a 3-0 lead when another team is coming, specifically like the Griffins are, with some offensive zone time. So it'll be interesting to see how the Warriors adjust their game plan and to see if they sit back a little bit on this lead. If Guelph can grab a quick one, we'll see exactly how comfortable Waterloo is with that advantage.
Well, a couple players have stood out for me when you look at the Guelph Griffins side just for their speed and the way they've been forechecking. So you just have to think that's going to continue to get ramped up here as they're in search of anything just to get something going, and they need a starting point, trailing in this one 3-0. As we are enjoying Hockey Day in Canada right here in Owen Sound, we do remind you, coming up later this evening, we will have another live broadcast from the Bayshore as the Owen Sound Attack will be in action as they play host to the Peterborough Petes. Note the special start time will be on the air at 6:30. Make sure you tune in. There's going to be a real fun pre-game intro that you won't want to miss, so we look forward to seeing that a little later on. But before we can get to that, we still got 20 minutes to go on what's been an entertaining affair here this afternoon. It is the Waterloo Warriors 3, the Guelph Griffins 0. We'll be right back with period number 3 coming up here on Rogers TV.
Tune in on Fridays at 5 to watch Nights Hockey. Alessandro Supino here with Nights Hockey. Tune in to Rogers TV 5 o'clock on Friday for the game.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Ripper Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Don't forget to tune in to Great County Life at Home next week as we meet the new Executive Director of Safe and Sound.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. It's Lightning, Flames,
Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
Ripper Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
Score!
January 21st on Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Centre. We have a great game of OUA women's hockey between the Guelph Griffins and the Waterloo Warriors. It's currently 3-0 for the Waterloo Warriors. Send it up to Adam and to Mark for the call of the third period.
All right, thank you very much, Adrian. Both teams getting set to step back out onto the ice as we have 20 minutes to go. Mark McKelvey and Adam McGuire with you. Waterloo in control, up 3-0 as we continue to celebrate Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. And Adam, you were talking a little bit about it earlier in our broadcast about how this was 3 years in the making, and this was always on the radar to have this game. Finally it happens. You do wonder, and you have had a great vantage point to see all this with everything that's gone over the last few years, kind of all the uncertainty, even looking at, you know, the players that might have got to play in this but have now graduated and didn't get the opportunity, and those who their Usports careers maybe got cut a little bit short. Getting back to a sense of normalcy and an event like this, I think everyone's just thrilled with how this is going.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's we talked about it off the top, a great opportunity for both these teams with, you know, the OUA standings and playoffs coming up, but there's also the opportunity of new exposure for this level of hockey and for these two teams specifically. You know, this is, as we've seen already through these 40 minutes, a really high level of hockey, one of the highest level of women's hockey that you can get kind of across the country here in Usport, at the Usports level, and a great opportunity for these student athletes to kind of showcase themselves for a career after hockey as well, perhaps. You know, we saw the PWPHA game here earlier today. Kelly Gribbins was part of that game. She's a former Griffin. We talked about Cassie Campbell-Pascal, obviously a former Griffin. And it's an opportunity for these student athletes to kind of show what they do on a day-to-day basis and really how good this hockey is. For the Warriors, of course, now their opportunity is 3 points for the regulation win in the standings.
Well, this has been a lot of fun here this afternoon. We still have 20 minutes to go. I have to say, this has been a blast calling this game. Looking forward to seeing how it finishes. There's just some tremendous hockey being played in many different parts across our country, and the U-Sport hockey certainly should not be overlooked. And hopefully, if you're tuning in here today, you'll have a chance to take in a U-Sport game down the road. The puck is dropped. Third period is underway. And the Guelph Griffins, they trail by 3, and they're going to go right in there aggressively, chasing down a loose puck. Verbeek gets into the slot. Verbeek lets a shot go, but it was blocked. On her follow-up attempt, that was blocked as well. Verbeek on the backhand, and a nice right pad save made there as Mark was able to kick it aside.
That's Kara Mark's best save of the night by far. That top line of Guelph coming and looking for that first goal. Kara Mark's right skate kept that out.
And it's pretty much right on cue, as we talked about in the intermission, knowing that Guelph would be pretty aggressive, and a player like Verbeek was one that came right to mind that would need to use her speed. Got a scoring opportunity, but as it's been the story all afternoon, Guelph yet to get one by Kara Mark, who has made 14 saves in the contest. Caruso at the left point. Pass towards Hurd. Hurd fights through a battle and got a shot away. Another blocker save is made. Pinching down the boards, Caruso tried to keep it in. It will come out into the neutral zone. And now Brooklyn Cole lays it off the boards, just out of the reach of James. And icing is going to be called. Bit of a 50-50 race there, but icing is called nonetheless. And the faceoff will come back down into the Waterloo zone.
Yeah, the top line of Guelph knocking on the door once again. Guelph is undefeated in 2023. They won 5 straight games here to start January, and Verbeek and McGoffin both have 6 points in those 5 games. Corey Verbeek was really close there to getting them off of the schneid here, but Kara Mark with her best save of the night.
Both these clubs came in off overtime victories. 3-0 the score here for Waterloo as we're early in the third period. Parkinson gets it in deep as McCrae is back to retrieve for the Griffins. McCrae pulls up and moves it across. Miller launches it diagonally through the neutral zone. Racing hard after it there is Brown. Pass comes out to the blue line. On it here is McGoffin going to the net. She's hooked up. A penalty coming up to Waterloo. So Guelph is going to get an early third period power play.
Yeah, this is one of those penalties I think that the Waterloo coaching staff, Sean Regan and Dolly Meggs, Amanda Smith will be fine with, to be honest. McGoffin had some time and space in front of the net, and Jalen Duffy gets the stick parallel to the ice and into the hands of McGoffin, but very possibly saved a goal there as McGoffin was going to the backhand, couldn't get it up and over the pad of Kara Mark.
Draw to the left of Mark, and the Griffins do win it. Sutherland Case sends it back to the blue line, and Davison couldn't waste any time getting rid of it. Sutherland Case now Squeezed by Pritchard and Cho. Gets a little bit of support as it's dug free. Hard pass out, comes to Pierre. Settles it down. Wrist shot towards the net is blocked. Cho will bank it off the boards and down the ice, so a clear early in this penalty kill. Fidel puts it around the boards. On it was Lenardin. Puck is going to get scooped up here by Maya Graham. And Graham now, she has to fight through a hook. Won't be a call on that one, and Waterloo has a chance to try and clear. Miller comes hustling into the zone to tie it up on the half boards. Graham is helping her. Graham really digging away, trying to get it free. Unable to reel it in was Graham, and it's going to be shot down the ice by Cole. So Waterloo gets another clear, their second of this penalty kill. 55 seconds is what remains here in the power play for the Guelph Griffins. Here comes Sydney Miller. She has to cut across the blue line, takes it all the way to the left side. Everybody stayed onside. Banks it into the corner, and Verbeek is going to scoop it up. Verbeek to the blue line. Pierre gives it right back to her. Pass towards the middle. Backhand shot. Came to the doorstep, but stick couldn't get onto Sutherland Case. Now she stick handles through a couple of legs. Back to the blue line, and a backhand pass by McGoffin got redirected out of the zone. Griffins want to stretch it quickly. Verbeek was hollering for it up at the blue line. McGoffin, drop pass, but nobody's home. Waterloo will steal. And down the right wing comes McCarthy. She's angled off by Davison. Davison now turns out from behind her own net. Passes it across. Broken up. McCarthy jumps on it. McCarthy in, fans on the wrister. As the save is going to be made, penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5.
I think McCarthy just looked up for a moment to see if she had anybody with her. The puck bobbled a little bit and couldn't get a good wrister away.
Now it's fired in by Cho. Orth was first one on it. She tries to spin into the high slot. At the line, Cheeseman pokes it by Olivier. Into the corner. A pass in front for Orth went off of a skate. From the near corner, the Griffins will send it out ahead. And Olivier is going to do it herself. Takes it wide to the right side, and that's going to end up dragging her teammate offside.
And Mela Meyer just a half step in ahead of the rush there as Guelph looks to continue with the momentum here. Weren't really able to establish much in that power play in the early goings here of the third. They would have liked to have cracked away at this lead a little earlier than now, already closing in on the 5-minute mark of the third period and still looking for their first goal.
Stepping in to take the face off there with Sydney Miller. Draw one by the Warriors, and it's lifted off the boards and out. Pass up the middle, picked off. Aitchison read that nicely, and she'll just ladder it back as the Warriors look to advance up to the red line and dumped in. Dick goes after it. She's first one there. Waits for some support as she tried to give it off to Verth. They'll try and dig it free. The Griffins do break out of their own zone. Flip down the ice. This is going to appear to go for icing, but it was waved off. Warriors made a reach on it. So Guelph goes in, trying to dig it off the end boards. Crashing in there was Maya Graham. And now it's going to get picked up. Opportunity here for Murray. Andrea Murray. She'll carry behind the net. Throws it out in front on the short side. And it's going to get smothered in the crease here as Fidel will take the time to cover it up with 14.5 to go here in the third.
Andrea Murray got her first career OUA goal earlier tonight in the first period and looked to create there again. It was in the feet of Liz Lenard, and Maddie Pritchard couldn't get a whack on it either, but the play really created by Murray, and Fidel had to be careful to corral it before a Warrior could get a stick on it.
Getting that first goal must be a little bit like getting the weight off your shoulders. It probably gives you a little boost, and we've seen Murray buzzing around out there here this afternoon. Now the Griffins will move it up to Olivier, who banks it off the boards. Coulias was trying to get to it. Murray passes it back, and an opportunity now for Duffy to take a look. She'll move it across over to Jesse Fennell. Fennell was going to reverse it. So Jalen Duffy Puts it up the right wing side, and Murray's just going to roll it all the way down the ice. Chittick is hustling back to get it. On her was Pritchard. Pritchard took her to the end boards. Davies now has a little bit of room to operate, so she's going to go for a skate. Davies gets across center, and she just lost her edge there. Turnover now. Countering come the Warriors. It's right in off the right side. Waits and shoots. Got herself a better look, and a stop is going to be made. Steered up into the glove as Martina Fidel will make now her 12th save of the contest.
Brielle Caruso there, the second-year human kinetics major from Sault Ste. Marie. A really good job defensively there to stick with Raitt as Raitt tried to make a move to the outside after the first fake shot, and Caruso stuck right with her, got a stick on it, and kind of slowed that up before it got into Fidel.
Cheeseman out at the red line is just going to sky it in on the backhand. Now getting in there to pressure is Cole. Stick lift trying to steal in front of the net. Look at her staying on that, and her teammates like it. Some hooting and hollering from the bench. They appreciate the effort. Cheeseman on a second effort kept it in. Miller in the corner is going to have to move it. Pass up the middle works. McGoffin will toss it over now to Verbeek. Verbeek gets it ahead to Brown. Brown controls. She spins back to the line. Pierre gets a shot away that rolls towards the slot. A backhander towards the net blindly goes wide. And now Cho will go up the middle, deflected down the ice. Looks like this is going to have enough to go for icing, and it will. As the Warriors were trying to slip in that line change just before the icing call.
Yeah, so they'll have to figure out which 5 Warriors were on the ice here. As Kira Raitt, I think, was the one that tried to play it up. Kira Raitt scored a highlight reel goal, the game winner, 3-on-3 in overtime on Wednesday night against the Laurier Golden Hawks at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. And she's been really good in the absence of Leah Herford up front for the Warriors.
It is an opportunity when you have some of your top players away for others to step into roles. Here is Raitt, kicks it to her stick. Raitt waits, finds a trailer in Parkinson. Parkinson shot, deflected wide. Bell tried to scoop it between her own legs. And now Graham will just kick it out. Off the boards, McCarthy tries to turn into the zone. Faccio is able to separate her from the puck. Banked off the boards, but it eludes Sutherland Case. And the Warriors end up with it on their stick, and they just turn it back over. Faccio lets a long wrist shot go. It went wide of the goal. Poked to the blue line and kept in. Chittick moves it down low, spinning behind the net. Aitchison will toss it up the boards, and it's going to roll out. We heard from Aitchison in our second intermission as she joined Adrian Musso. Got a great afternoon here at the Bayshore. Waterloo looking to add more to their lead. In full control, up 3-0. Now behind the net. Taking a bump in there was Kathy Verth. Verth tries to get it in front for Dick. There's a shot stop. Puck was loose for a second, but ultimately it will get covered here by Fidel as the Warriors showing their depth here in this third period and getting some opportunities.
We talked about off the top, Adrian mentioned both these teams obviously ranked in the top 10 in the nation. Waterloo 8, Guelph making their debut in the top 10 this week at number 10. In the standings, a huge game. Waterloo leads Guelph for first place in the OUA West Division by 2 points. In the OUA women's hockey ranks, you get 3 points for the regulation win. So if the Warriors can hang on to this one, they'll have a 5-point buffer here with only 7 to 8 games to play for these teams in the OUA West as we get close to playoff time. A big 3 points on the board here for Waterloo if they can hold on to the lead.
Certainly one of the most impressive stats I noticed was the plus 28 goals for goals against differential coming into today for the Waterloo Warriors. And as of right now, that's moved up now to plus 31. In comparison, Guelph was plus 12 coming into today. Right now, lost the handle on it for a brief moment as she was looking to let a wrist shot go. Behind the net, Davison makes a move to meet Lenardin, and now she'll go for a skate, wants maybe a give and go. Banks off the boards, it comes right back to her. Davison with a shot right into the chest of Mark, who is going to make the stop, as that'll be her 17th save of the contest.
Kara Mark is one of those goaltenders that stands tall and square to the puck. She's a little bit Carey Price-like in that mode where she doesn't rely necessarily on, the reflexes of the quickness. It's positioning, and it's being in the right spot at the right time. She showed it there. It didn't give the Griffins much at all to shoot at.
Cho is back in her own zone as she moves it ahead for Cole. Cole turns it over as Davison steals. And you can tell Davison's really tried to make something happen. Really driving the play here for the Griffins over the last little bit. She gets back up to her skates and will look to dig it free. Around the boards. Kept in by Faccio. Davison going for a change, spins it down low. Faccio will take a look. She centers it in front. No shot taken. Clearing attempt does not work for Waterloo. A pass across. Here's a point shot fired by Caruso. It was wide. Cho now. Stick handles, trying to elude the pressure, and she makes a nice breakout pass right up to Cole. And now Brooklyn Cole steps in. Shot to the net, and a save is going to be made there as Fidel will make the stop.
Just to finish that thought on the OUA West Division and obviously the playoffs, there'll be 2 teams in Ontario that qualify for the National Championship Tournament. Waterloo really wants to be one of those 2 teams. On the east side, Toronto and Nipissing are the 2 strongest clubs. Waterloo, though, will definitely make the National Championship Tournament in 2025. It was recently announced that they'll host the Nationals in 2025, the first team in Ontario to do so in nearly a decade at the Woolwich Community Centre in Elmira, Ontario. So definitely a program that has some chances here to make noise on the national stage. Waterloo would like to start that this season.
Absolutely. Here is Bell. Shot to the goal, and Fidel is going to make the save. And you can speak to that, Adam, just what knowing, a couple of years out that event's coming, the opportunity is going to be there, probably gives a real opportunity to build towards what's going to be a great opportunity in a couple of years and see this group grow.
Yeah, and definitely the group here that's already here that has 2 or 3 years of eligibility left, but also on the recruiting trail.
Yeah.
It's something else to be able to guarantee a potential recruit that they'll play in at least one national championship tournament. It's an 8-team tournament, and of course anything can happen with that few number of teams in a 1-game elimination. So it'll be something that head coach Sean Regan and Dolly Meggs use on the recruiting trail for sure to try to get some talent to come in to replace some of the graduating seniors in the next year or 2.
Here this afternoon, it is the Warriors leading the Griffins 3-0. Puck is going to be carried across center ice by Abby Davies. Davies throws it across the slot. Spinning it is Verbeek. Shot by Davison off the crossbar. It's in behind Mark, and she's got it covered up as we get a little pushing and shoving going off to the side as the Griffins come oh so close to finally getting on the board.
Guelph has to start feeling like they've been snake bitten here. They carried the bulk of the play in the start of the first and second periods. This time they get a shot in the high slot that looks labeled for the top shelf. Hits the crossbar. Could have very easily gone right down off of the back of Mark and in. There were 2 Griffins waiting for it as well, but nobody could dig it out of the feet of Kara Mark. So things just going the way of the black and gold here this afternoon.
8:15 remaining here in period number 3. Verbeek in the corner. Verbeek will chip it back to the blue line. Chittick fires a shot. That got right to the goal. Had a bit of steam on that wrister, and another stop is going to be made by Kara Mark. And you got to give Guelph credit. They haven't stopped, really, despite facing this 3-goal deficit. They continue to chip away, just unable to get anything across the goal line.
Yeah, Kara Mark, she's a rookie. She's been forced to carry the load with the injury to Michaela Schnarr, and this is one of her best performances so far this season for sure. But you can always tell with a goaltender how comfortable they are, I think, with rebound control. There hasn't been a lot of second opportunities for Guelph this afternoon.
Here is Raitt trying to get around Caruso. Puck just came out over the line, and Chittick's now going to go pick it up. Chittick will turn it upstream and skate it herself right through the middle. Passes off to Graham. Nice toe drag move as she ended up stepping on a stick there. Sutherland Case now looking in front. Hard pass comes all the way out. Miller looking to get it first away from the pressure, then back up to her stick. She'll try to flip it towards the goal. Miller reels it in. Shot to the net, and a kick save made right off the right pad from Mark. The Wolves are going to, or I should say the Griffins are going to have to come back to get it. Brown now has it, and now she will angle to the right side. Cuts across through the middle. Stick handles nicely across 3 different defenders. Got a shot away into the Warriors corner, and Aitchison was looking to tie up her opponent. Back to the right point for Pierre. Pierre takes a bump. The puck just stayed in, but now it spills out, and Rate's going to look to drive through. Just got held up enough that she'll abandon that mission on the advancing up ice, and once again the Warriors are inside their own zone, looking to come out with it. Laid off the boards for McCarthy. McCarthy off the off wing, passes it across for Bell, and that one just got underneath her stick. Now Orth tried to fire a shot towards the net that was blocked, and the Griffins will get it out. Got tied up in the skates of the official. Coming through on the follow-up was Lenardin, who dumped it in. Turnover, McCarthy, Lenardin, a shot, and that just missed. So now the Warriors are starting to buzz in the offensive zone. Lenardin throws it across the crease, but it went off a stick and out, and now it's pushed ahead, and here goes McGoffin. McGoffin goes wide on her forehand, looking to drop it for a trailer, and it's not going to develop there, and here come the Warriors. 3-on-2. Pass across intended for Murray. Deflected. Charging in after it now, Fennell. Fennell holds it. She'll try to hand it off. Faccio ties up her opponent, and it's going to get chipped out into the neutral zone. 5.5 minutes to go here in period number 3. Duffy was open on the right wing. She'll shoot it in, and she'll go for a change. Pass up towards Verbeek, deflected. Verth on a stick lift. Now comes back, and here comes Miller. Miller makes her pass over to the right wing side. Hurd is trying to dump it in deep. Puck coming towards the front of the goal, and the Warriors nearly put themselves in some danger there. Coming across the front of their net. Now spinning away is Verbeek. She throws it across right in front, and a redirect just goes wide. Nice setup trying to get it to Maya Graham. Pierre lets a shot go, it was blocked. Gets a second opportunity, so she sends it down low. Coolius gets in there, digging in the corner. Gets it to Graham, out in front. There's a shot right off the knob of the stick of Mark. As she makes another save in the contest, she denied Hurd. Coolius, been relentless in there, working down low. Gets some support. Graham has control. Graham really gets the feet going, generating some speed as she circles the zone. Leaves it back to the line for Pierre. Pierre lets a shot go, but it was blocked, and it's going to come down the ice. So that will halt the momentum being built there by the Griffins. Now Davison lost her edge, but she'll get back up to recover. 4:15 to go in the third. Sutherland Case, it was just out of her reach. Warriors bank it down the ice. Caruso's going to retreat behind her own net. Rate will watch her and is going to force her out. So Caruso makes a nice tape-to-tape pass, and it's brought up now by Abby Davies. Davies passed through the middle, just missed. Sutherland Case looks to outmuscle the defenders as she turns back to the blue line for Caruso. Caruso waiting, passes it off. Here's a shot fired, blocked, comes back to Chittick. She now passes it down low, carried back up to the blue line once again. And it'll be left here for Caruso, for Chittick. Quite the battle going on in front of the goal as the Warriors do their best to box out, and another save made for Kara Mark with 3:29 to go.
Yeah, Guelph's hemmed Waterloo in there for 2 shifts in a row, and you wonder with 3:29 to play and a 3-goal lead, and the way Guelph is buzzing the offensive zone, does head coach Rachel Flanagan look for the extra attacker? Does Martina Fidel come out of the net at some point here in the next 30 seconds to a minute?
McRae at the point, just able to poke it ahead. There's a shot along the ice by Brown that goes wide. Verbeek is looking in front for Brown. Coming to the net was Miller, stick lift, couldn't get a shot off. She hustles back to the left point to keep it in. Verbeek now. Off of a skate, side of the net. On it is Cheeseman. Cheeseman's taken down in the corner. A little slow to get up behind the play. Meanwhile, her teammates get it across the blue line. And now it's going to be sent down the ice by Verbeek. And back to collect it is Fennell. Fennell sends it up the boards. Just missed. Davidson across ice for Pierre. Pierre will have to spin her way into the zone. Coolius in there to lift the stick. Digging away. Faccio, and the Warriors do get it out and down the ice. Now Coolius banks it off the boards. Held here by Aitchison. Aitchison backs right up, and she's going to go high off the glass and out. Glove down by Pritchard, banked off the boards ahead. Pritchard got dumped for her efforts there. Now Murray on the steal, hands it off, and a shot save made. Lenardin looking for her second of the game, and she stopped there as well. So she got a couple looks with just over 2 to go here in the third, but both times is denied.
And Martina Fidel with a couple of big saves. Obviously time ticking away for the Griffins here. And Guelph had a couple of shifts like we mentioned where they were coming hard with some pressure. Waterloo with a bounce back one there. Would have been a back-breaking goal. Still might be enough though for Waterloo.
Point shot fired by Cheeseman, and the save is going to be made as we hit the 18-minute mark of period number 3. And don't forget, more coverage of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada coming up here on Rogers TV. Of course, you can tune into the national broadcast on Rogers Sportsnet and CBC as they've got a triple header of NHL games on the go today. And we will be back at 6:30 for some Ontario Hockey League action as the Owen Sound Attack will play host to the Peterborough Petes. Do note that special start time. We're on the air at 6:30. Puck drop is scheduled for around 6:45. 90 seconds remains here. The Waterloo Warriors leading the Guelph Griffins 3-0. Across the line, Murray, and she's going to dump it in. Around the boards it comes now to Miller. Lenardin, Murray, and James, the goal scorers here this afternoon for Waterloo, as they are just over a minute away from picking up a big victory over the Guelph Griffins. Guelph has not been for a lack of effort. They've had some opportunities. Now in the corner, Sutherland Case. She comes up towards the blue line, and James is going to intercept. She spins it out on the backhand as Pierre drags it across the blue line. 1 against 3 does not work. It's poked out to center ice. Onside are the Griffins as Davison cuts across the line. Verbeek gets in there chasing in the near corner. And now Fennell's just going to rim it around to the far side. James can take a look. Broken up. Big collision. Pass out in front, and a shot was fired there. It's coming to the net was heard. Graham in the corner looking for it. Rate will just try to clear. 15 seconds is all that remains. Kara Mark has had a stellar afternoon as they dig away on the near boards. And the Warriors are going to clear it out. 3 seconds to go. And on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, the Waterloo Warriors come up to the Scenic City and they knock off the Guelph Griffins 3-0. It's a 21 save shutout performance from Kara Mark.
Dolly Meggs and the coaching staff of the Warriors, all smiles after this one, as the Warriors opportunistic, I think, this afternoon to get the 3-0 win. They played a really solid game when they needed to. They scored on the opportunities they had. They weathered some storms from Guelph, and Kara Mark was outstanding. I think that was one of her best games this year and of her young career. She held the Griffins at bay.
Never felt like she ever got in any danger, really. Just sound between the pipes all afternoon. As we mentioned, Lenardin, Murray, and James, the goal scorers in this 3-0 victory. A couple of teams ranked in the top 10 nationally, and for Waterloo, what a big week this has been. You mentioned about the big win in the Battle of Waterloo, and then coming up here to be part of the Hockey Day in Canada festivities. I think it's safe to say a week like this probably going to do a lot when it comes to the bonding and the maturation of this group.
Yeah, as they head into a playoffs, last year they were eliminated in an upset. They were the top seed in the West. They lost in the first round. So it's events like this and weeks like this that I think you can really build on as a program, specifically missing 2 of your superstars who are away at the FISU World University Games. So for the Warriors, a huge win. For the Griffins, they were held off the scoreboard here, but maybe some confidence from them. We can stick with the top teams in the OUA as well. We're right there. Probably we're a little hard done by on the luck department in Guelph. And obviously, for the Griffins, still something to build on. For the Warriors, some breathing room at the top of the OUA West Division.
Well, as we mentioned, there was a little bit of cash on the line here this afternoon as Cassie Campbell-Pascal, the Guelph Griffins alumni, said on Thursday night at the Hockey Day banquet that she would put up $1,000 to go to the winning team's program. That was matched by Bobby Ryan and the Owen Sound Attack franchise. And with that, that means $3,000 is going to go to the Waterloo Warriors. But Fred Wallace, our PA announcer, just informing us that the Guelph Griffins program also going to receive a $1,000 donation from the Owen Sound Attack franchise. Let's go to PA announcer Fred Wallace.
To Bobby Ryan and to the Owen Sound Attack for this generous initiative to support Usports women's hockey here between Waterloo and Guelph.
Fantastic afternoon this has been. The University of Waterloo Warriors prevail in this afternoon's contest over the University of Guelph Griffins by a final score of 3-0. And as we mentioned, win or lose, this is going to be a day that all the players and staff are going to remember for quite some time. A thrill to be part of the Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada festivities, so why not commemorate it with a group photo. Adam, this has been a lot of fun. We really appreciate you joining us here this afternoon. This was a really good game and a great opportunity to display the fantastic female talent we have at the university level in front of a great crowd here this afternoon.
It's great to be here. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk on
excellent exhibition of the brand of hockey at the university level in Canada.
Yeah, it certainly was. This was a great afternoon, and there's still more to come as part of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada right here in Owen Sound. We're going to step aside. When we come back, Adrian Musso has some post-game reaction. He'll catch up with a member of the winning squad, the Waterloo Warriors, and then he'll get you set for what's coming up a little later on this evening as the Owen Sound Attack will play host to the Peterborough Petes at 6:30 here on Rogers TV. Don't go anywhere. More coverage coming your way. You're watching Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada here on Rogers TV.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Stars, Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
Forever Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Ringside. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a Waterloo Warrior out here for an interview, but they played a great game. It was a great display of women's hockey at one of the highest levels that we have in Canada right here in the OUA. You saw number 8 seed Waterloo Warriors defeat the number 10 seed Guelph Griffins in a very tough contest. 3-0 was the score of the game. However, it was a very tightly checked game, and we even saw a few big collisions, battles along the boards, and exactly the perfect display of women's hockey here in Canada. For Rogers TV, I'm Adrian Musso. We'll see you at the Attack game at 6:30.
help for him, and what was the route you took? In case there's somebody at home watching, what was the route you took to get him help?
Well, I think if anyone hits their head, regardless of, you know, whether they say shake it off or not, I think it's important to be checked by a health professional just to rule out anything. But in the event that, you know, and that would be sooner rather than later, because things can progress within 24 hours.
Yes.
So time is of the essence.
Okay.
I do think that once you've been given that instruction, you need to follow it, whether it's through the school or your medical care provider. You need to follow the instructions they give.
Yeah.
And that generally means being off screens, getting a certain amount of rest, whatever that is. So we did that, but one thing that they don't necessarily talk to you about, some doctors might, is the mental health care as a part of the treatment.
Okay.
So I think as a parent or as a friend or caregiver, you know, you really have to have those conversations with the person who's had the injury.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Because it's a lot of stress on them. And that might have to become a part of that treatment plan. For Simon, it had to become a part of right, you know, taking care of him too.
And what I've also read too is that their social relationships can change. Was that part of his experience?
I think he became, for me as a mom, like teenagers are already sometimes can give you a hard time, but he would become very irritable very quickly.
Okay.
He said he was feeling angry. You know, he has a little sister, and he could only tolerate her for a very short amount of time.
Okay.
So his patience, he was frustrated. But then also too with his friends, you know, I feel like because he couldn't do things the same with them, it was a little bit tricky on those relationships, because then kids especially, how do you replace that with your friends?
Yes.
If I can't talk to my friends online or go play soccer with them, do I still have friends?
Right.
Well, yes, but maybe they don't always talk about those feelings.
Yeah.
So again, another reason why it's important to talk.
And what about COVID? How did that affect your son if he couldn't be on a screen and school was online? How did that work?
Well, schools are really great, and I feel like that's another thing to make sure parents understand if you're dealing with a youth going through this, is really, really keep that communication with the school, be an advocate for your child. So they were trying to get him to come back, and in my son's case, it was too soon.
Okay.
And he is now doing a program where he works with a teacher, and he will study 1 credit at a time for 9 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And they convert things for him. So, for example, instead of doing the work online, they print it for him, and he does it on paper.
Okay.
Just little things like that. The school will work with you, but you have to be an advocate.
Right.
For sure.
And was that something that you spearheaded with the school?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. And also, too, with COVID, yeah, I mean, even it's that much more so that we have to really speak up.
Yeah.
You know, and just remember, it's a team effort. It's not just one person's job.
Exactly. Well, we are going to bring you back. I have more questions about treatment and whatnot, but we'll bring you back in our third segment. Thank you so much, Tina.
Okay.
More Mental Health Matters when we return.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
At St. John Ambulance, we're all about community. We teach life-saving skills and provide community support through our volunteer services. All St. John Ambulance product sales and training registrations support these important services. Volunteer, donate, or enroll in a program today so we can continue to have an impact on our community. Visit sja.ca to learn more. At St. John Ambulance, we do more than save lives, we change lives.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. It's Lightning, Flames,
Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
forever rivals,
Jets, Sens.
What a play!
And Oilers, Canucks.
Score!
January 21st on Sportsnet.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Mental Health Matters. I'm your host, Courtney Gideon, and today we are discussing mental health after a brain injury. Here to help us understand concussions and how to help treat someone post-concussion is co-founder of Georgina Physiotherapy and Sports Injuries Clinic, Sean Herkin. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, Sean, physiotherapy. Not everybody maybe at home watching knows what physiotherapy is. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is and how it can help somebody who has had a sports injury?
So basically, physiotherapists use physical assessments to basically, sorry.
Okay.
So physiotherapy is we're allied health professionals who use physical assessments, checking posture, checking muscle strength, range of motion, that sort of thing, to find out what a person may have done as far as injury. And then we use physical medicine, whether it's manual therapy, ultrasound, laser techniques, to help promote healing for the injury.
Wow, so it sounds like it's a lot of different things.
Yeah, and that's just touching on the sports injury side. So there's lots of neurological treatments for people that have strokes, CP, that sort of thing, and then even cardiorespiratory. So anybody who's had a heart attack and has had, they need chest physio to get the lungs working better too.
Wow, okay. So that's really great information. And so when we come to head injuries or brain injuries, such as concussion, can you, in a way that you know how, explain what a concussion is?
So basically, when it comes down to a concussion, the simplest way to say it is basically a bruised brain. So basically, when you've hit your head, the brain is floating around in fluid inside your skull, and it bounces back and forth depending on what side you hit. So you hit the back of your head, it bounces to the back, and then it hits the front. So and then there's a bruise on the brain that is so minute it'll never be picked up on most cases on any imaging. It's just manifests itself in symptoms that vary from loss of concussion or loss of consciousness right to memory loss, dizziness, light sensitivity, auditory sensitivity, that sort of thing.
And when we're talking with Tina, she was mentioning some irritability. Like, is that all part of it?
For sure. Like irritability. A lot of times it depends on where you've hit your head. It'll change some of the symptoms because different areas of the brain control different parts of what we do as far as our moods, our irritability, how we interact with people and our environment.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's say somebody has had a concussion and they come to seek some treatment from you guys. What can they expect? What are kind of the first steps that you go through with them?
A lot of times it depends on when the concussion happened. Like, so if I get someone who comes in who had a concussion in the last week, the assessment is more or less the same. We basically do an interview, what happened, what are your symptoms, and then I will test certain things. A lot of times I'm testing vision, testing their vestibular system, which is basically where your head is in space. It tells your brain where your head is in space. And from all of that information that I collect and what my testing might do to you, whether I stir up dizziness or create light sensitivity or make you feel like you're going to vomit, that will tell me what we need to do. In the first week or so of a concussion, it's sort of the same thing. Nothing's really changed as far as the initial treatment. It's a lot of rest, off the screens. If you have light sensitivity, stay in a dark room. One of the things that's sort of coming out now in the new treatment is, despite all that, we want people to exercise and keep moving, because trying to have that normal use of your brain is important, to try to normalize everything.
Yes. So in terms of exercise and the benefits to the brain, what are they?
So when we're talking about concussions, it's just trying to make sure that we get into that normal rhythm of use, right? So when the concussion happens, the brain goes into this sort of energy crisis. So the brain, when it functions normally, its job is to basically allocate attention, I guess, to all the things that are coming at it, whether it's my muscles want me to do this, my vision is saying do this, and the brain is very good at allocating all of that and allowing us to function. When we have a concussion, it's less so. So what happens is the brain starts getting a little bit overstimulated, and then it can't handle it, and that manifests itself as symptoms. So part of getting the brain to sort of get back into its normal rhythm is to exercise, and use that exercise as something to sort of get you back into a normal state of functioning. A lot of times with people with concussions, they're really tired. Right? So one of the first thing I'll tell most people to come in is, you almost have to become military-like with your sleep patterns. Like you have to go to bed at 10 o'clock every night, whatever time you pick.
Okay.
And you have to sleep 8 hours.
Okay.
Right? Or rest for 8 hours. But in that afternoon, say you only slept 6 hours and you're tired and you want a nap.
Exactly.
That nap is actually going to really sort of set you back. So you got to stay awake. So what I tell people is go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like go for a walk, do something active that is not going to overstimulate your brain. So go for a walk in a quiet place though. Don't go for a walk down the busy street on Metro Road where you're going to have cars coming at you and that sort of thing, and it's going to sort of set you off.
Yes. Now, do you see a lot of people coming in who have had concussions who are suffering from depression and anxiety?
Yeah, it's a big factor, right?
Yeah.
Because if we take, let's use an example of a grade 12 student who can't be in school because of their concussion, and they're graduating, they're hoping to go to university next year, and if I don't get these courses, I'm not going.
Yeah.
So the anxiety that really builds really sort of interferes with everything else because they're not going to sleep as well because of the anxiety, which sets the rate of healing back.
Yeah.
So yes, like a lot of anxiety, I'd say I see more anxiety than depression.
Okay.
But it's a big, big factor.
You know what this sounds to me? It sounds like a very holistic view. You know, when we're talking about mental health, we always look at like the biopsychosocial, all the things that we put together that makes up well-being, right? So it sounds like the physiotherapy that you guys do really looks at that holistic approach. Is that what you guys would say?
We sort of have to, or else we miss a lot, right? Like if we just treated just the vestibular system, for example, because someone was getting dizzy, then we're going to be missing part of the solution. So we might not be able to get it all in one treatment, but if we try and touch on it all and then educate people as much as we can, that to me is the key, especially when we're dealing with the mental health part of it. Like, I think education is, a lot of people don't have any idea what they're dealing with, and just by talking to them and saying, this is a normal symptom for an abnormal problem.
Yes.
So a lot of people that have concussions go through this. So it's normal, it will heal.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to go through it. And I think that brings some people that have been dealing with post-concussion syndrome, I see their shoulders just melt because they're just like, oh, okay, like now I know what's going on.
Right, yes. And I do want to ask you about post-concussion syndrome. So what is that?
So it's basically a concussion that hasn't healed very well. Like it's symptoms or these latent symptoms that probably were there when you first got your concussion that have hung around. So whether it's usually not the vomiting and the nausea that you get at first, but a lot of times it's fatigue, always tired, dizzy, mood swings, big mood swings, anxiety about big crowds really set people off. So having a lot of busy areas and they don't handle that very well, and that'll either cause them to be dizzy or there's a lot of symptoms they can have.
Okay, well, you have been very helpful in breaking it down and understanding, what it is and how to treat it and all that. So thank you so much. We are going to bring you back into our last segment with Tina, but we will be right back. Don't go away. More Mental Health Matters when we return.
I'm a singer-songwriter from Six Nations, and I've been writing songs about my experience, and with that being said, it's helped me hold hope in my heart in following my dreams and being resilient to everyday Indigenous battles.
Competition between spirit, earth, and wind, let me tell you now.
This song in particular, The Shiner, is a special song that I wrote for my grandfather. He was a snow snake maker, and that is a Haudenosaunee winter sport. It's my job to educate and to share. And the music allows me to do that.
He'll be shining snow snakes and mud cats to the end of his days.
Your mouth can do a lot of amazing things. And your mouth can save a life.
Hi, I'm Tom Wong. I'm just one of close to 1,000 Canadians in search of a stem cell match. We need your help.
A simple swab is all you need to register on the National Stem Cell Database. You could be the one to save a life. Find the hero in you.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Triple rivals!
Jets, Sens.
What a play!
And Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Welcome back to Mental Health Matters. I'm your host, Courtney Gideon, and today we are discussing mental health after a brain injury. I am joined by my 2 fabulous guests, Tina Woodward-Hurley and founder of Georgina Physiotherapy and Sports Injuries Clinic, Sean Herkin. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So, Tina, you heard Sean talk a little bit about some of the symptoms, post-concussion syndrome and all of that, how to treat it. So what do you think with your son? Is that kind of how the process has been?
Absolutely. Simon is a little bit different, though, because he developed, after the 4th concussion, he developed a condition called triple PD.
Okay.
So basically, he works with a neurologist. It's a condition where the dizziness does not go away.
Oh.
So it's been a year since his last concussion, but he never came out of that concussed state.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took a long time to get the treatment, the diagnosis. The treatment itself involves a physio that's called vestibular rehabilitation therapy.
Okay.
Very specific. And also medication.
Okay.
And then again, working with a neurologist, family doctor. And part of the treatment plan that we have, is he does speak with a therapist, and I always have that communication with him of what his needs are.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a whole team.
A whole team. It's a lot. It can be a long road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something for parents to consider if those symptoms are not going away. That was the first time we had ever heard that can happen. It can continue.
And so your son had his first concussion when he was how old?
I think it was 13, so grade 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from what I've read and researched, and tell me if I'm wrong, Sean, that concussions are on the rise between, I think, ages 7 and 12 or something like that. Does that sound at all right to you? Are you seeing more people for concussions, more kids?
So I don't know if they're necessarily on the rise as far as like the numbers that we see are more kids having concussions. I think we're more aware of the concussions. I think it was.
Yes.
So I think there's a lot more kids. Parents are, I think, as a rule, more educated about it than, especially if the kids are playing any organized sport. There's a lot more education out there about concussions, whereas even 10 years ago, kid went into the corner and hit his head on the boards playing hockey, shakes it off, and is dizzy for 10 minutes, and then out on the ice he goes.
Right.
And then if he doesn't get that rest initially, that could sort of delay things or create bigger problems. So I think because we're more educated about it, I think that's why I think the numbers have gone up.
Okay. Well, I have seen things change. Like when I would go skiing as a kid, I'd never wear a helmet.
No.
Now you have to.
Yeah, the protocols around sports and school has become a lot stricter.
Right.
And that was the Rowan's Law, I believe, that came into effect.
Yeah.
A young girl, she had a sports injury. I believe she was just a teen and shook it off. And as a result, she ended up passing away.
Wow.
And I think once that happened, Rowan's Law came into effect, and it's just sort of had a ripple effect. People are more aware, educators and sports coaches are far more careful.
Well, speaking of ripple effect, when something happens to a family member like this, it does tend to affect everybody in the family. How have you been doing with your mental health while managing all of this?
Well, I think it's like anything, right? Parents, caregivers, it's someone you care about, and all you can do is the best you can do to help them.
Yeah.
But no parent wants to see their child go through something like this.
Exactly.
And so I have to take care of my mental health, make sure that I'm talking about how I feel too, because as parents, or if it doesn't have to be a parent, but if you're caring for someone who's going through something, you put all your focus on them.
Yeah.
And you don't realize maybe that you're being depleted. You need to remember your care as well so that you can take care of that person.
And I know you have more than one kid to take
three.
care of. Yes, exactly.
Yes, they keep me busy.
So there's a lot of Tina that needs to be,
Yeah, and you're spread thin, right? So you need to make sure part of that treatment is you going to get your rest.
Yes.
And talking about how you feel.
But this is, the mental health field you are familiar with because of your caring works for kids. Do you feel that that's helped you at all through this, or?
Yes, because it's something that, I talk about through work.
Yes.
And I remind myself, it's like, remember, these are the things you have to do to take care of mental health, whether it's for my kids, my son going through this, or for myself.
Right.
Absolutely, for sure.
Well, I really love what you do, Tina, and I think, this has been a lot for you guys, but you're managing it well, and I think, Sean, I know that you're treating her son, so I think you're in good hands, and,
for sure.
Thank you, Sean, as well, for giving us all the information here today.
You're welcome.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. I'm Courtney Gideon, host of Mental Health Matters. Until next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Triple Rivals,
Jets, Sens.
What a play!
And Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
This is Rogers TV, Grey County.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
My first impressions of Como Lake Resort are nothing short of outstanding. As soon as you walk in and you're welcomed by the hosts, Tracy and John, you felt like you're coming home. I'm a big believer that every resort or lodge or outfitter has a heartbeat. Oftentimes you get a feeling when you walk into a place or onto a piece of property, and that initial feeling gives you a sense of what your trip is going to be like or what your vacation is going to be like. And I knew right away, as soon as we saw beaming smiles and outstretched hands welcoming us, that this was going to be a fantastic trip. Como Lake Resort is the only resort on the lake, so the pressure on these fish is literally next to nothing. I bet you some of these fish have never seen flies before. And that's the beauty of coming to Northern Ontario, is you legitimately have the ability to fish in waters where maybe no fly fisher has been. Where else can you find that?
There's a fish, there's a fish. Oh, I got it. Ah.
Ooh, good fish, man.
Yeah, that's a good fish.
That's a great fish
That's
all
a
day.
great fish, yeah.
Oh, got me. He's got it. I got him. Sweet. Oh, what a fish, Rob. Got to see the eat and everything, man. That was awesome. Let me turn the boat. Can you believe this?
That is a big pike.
Holy.
It's not every day that we get to fish for multi-species on one body of water. I'm at Como Lake Resorts, just outside of Chapleau, Ontario, in Algoma country. Here we're going to be targeting trophy northern pike, big smallmouth bass, and if time permits, we're going to go inland and search for some wild eastern brook trout. This is going to be an exciting adventure, and I can't wait to get fishing.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish.
I will catch these all day.
That is what you're in for on this episode.
The new Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Algoma Country, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada.
Ontario lodges and outfitters look forward to welcoming international anglers when it's safe to travel once again.
In the heart of Algoma country, we discovered one of Northern Ontario's best-kept secrets. Here, just outside the town of Chapleau, is Como Lake Resort. Como Lake and the surrounding region offers some of the best sport for the outdoor enthusiasts that the province has to offer, and we've come here to explore. While hiring a guide for at least a portion of a trip, particularly on new water, is always recommended, there's something to be said about heading out on your own and prospecting for what's available. So what is available at Como Lake? Most of inland Algoma, smallmouth bass, northern pike, and walleye headline the list, but it's certainly not limited to those. For the intrepid anglers willing to work, brook trout can be found in abundance in both lakes and rivers, and many of the lakes, including Como, offer outstanding whitefish angling. When exploring new water, it pays to stick with what you know. More often than not, what works on your home water will prevail on most lakes and streams. But don't be complacent and be prepared to be versatile.
water's cold back here. We're looking at 50 degrees right now. But we know from local knowledge that this is one of the bays that is the shallowest, and it's one of the bays that's the first to get weeds that come up. Because it's a dark bottom, the sun will have a radiant effect on the water, and if we can get some sun to come out, this is a spot where is going to warm up first, which means the bait fish are going to move in, which means the pike are going to follow the bait fish. So in searching out new areas to locate pike, in the spring, look for shallow, dark bottom bays that likely more than not to heat up before any of the main body of the water. Got him that time. That a boy. That's fun. So we're in the shallows, looking for cruising pike. 55 degrees, bass season is open here. And we saw Rob had this fish chase on his fly. And I grabbed a bass rig and threw in behind, and
that's a good bass.
Wouldn't you know? Fish on. Sight casting for smallies is just 100% for them. This is their total pre-spawn, so they're cruising. Got it? Yep. Look how dark green she is. Wow.
There's no indication that she's spawning at all.
No.
None.
We worked the extreme end of the lake and managed some success.
Nice one.
But weather, as it often does, didn't cooperate. We decided to call it a night and head towards the lodge under heavy rain. But the fish gods gave us a window of just okay weather, and after reconnoitering with John, we headed to another shoreline that would give us a couple more hours before dark.
So we're approaching this creek ahead of us, and we noticed there's a considerable amount of debris in here that forms these dark spots. And we're thinking there's a good opportunity here to find some warmer water and maybe some staging smallmouth. So Mark has killed the engine, and he's just working us into it slowly. I'll be up on the foredeck, locked and loaded and ready to go if we spot any fish. We'll give it a go and see what happens.
So we came into this, look at this, look at the cut. We were able to get the boat in here in this tiny little bay, and it's full of smallmouth. This isn't a slouch either. Super fun.
Oh, there's one.
Nice double header.
Oh, it
looks like a good one.
This is outstanding.
All right, here's mine, and I'll let it go and help Rob with his. He looks like a bigger fish.
They're kind of, what we've been seeing, they're kind of cookie cutters, but but nice cookie cutters.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
You'll never hear me complain about 13, 14 inch
smallies on fly. That one's a little football. Look how fat he is.
Beautiful.
Look how fat. All right, I'll let this guy go.
Oh my gosh. Look at them down there. There's a fish, there's a fish. Oh, I got it. Holy jumpers.
They're strong, huh?
Holy cow. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Rob, good man.
Yeah, that's a good fish.
That's a great fish
that's
all
a
day.
Great fish, yeah.
Oh, God.
Did he give you a splash?
Yeah. Aren't these adventures fun, though? I mean, we've never been here before. We weren't even told about this. We found a little cut, go for a play.
We almost went in during that storm, and aren't you happy we didn't?
Yeah. Even bigger.
Call that. Brian Laurie, look at the moves! Oh my goodness, shot, and scores!
We'll see who gets it. Garrettson shot it.
But I'm pretty sure Bob Garrettson got
behind the net to McNeil. In front, Bolducki scores!
That's Alex Bolduc, first ever GMHL junior hockey goal.
Second period is normally their best period.
Scores! Redirects.
Your mouth can do a lot of amazing things. And your mouth can save a life.
Hi, I'm Tom Wong. I'm just one of close to 1,000 Canadians in search of a stem cell match. We need your help.
A simple swab is all you need to register on the National Stem Cell Database. You could be the one to save a life. Find the hero in you.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me for my next show where my guests will be from the Owen Sound Police Service. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Another feature of fishing during tough conditions or transition periods is determining what kind of retrieve the fish are into. This holds true for all species when fishing with streamers. All fish have their own comfort zones in terms of water temperature and will be more or less aggressive depending on these. What worked last week may not work this week, so once again, experiment with your retrieve. As a rule of thumb, the more aggressive the fish are, the more aggressive your retrieve can be, and vice versa.
Some of the things to consider when you're fishing, especially smallmouth bass in cold temperatures. At 51 degrees, these fish are going to be pretty lethargic. So you want to slow your presentation down. I'm just retrieving with a little finger crawl, keeping the fly moving almost perpetually, and then I'll vary it with just a couple of short little strips or twitches of my rod tip. I'm fishing a fairly long leader and a heavily weighted fly on a floating line, and I'm also using fluorocarbon. This lake is extraordinarily clear, and we want to take advantage of all the technology we have. Fluorocarbon is more invisible in water than monofilament. So this is just a green olive, almost a pseudo woolly bugger, but it is heavily weighted, so I'm going to allow it to sink and fish it as slow as the bottom will allow me. And what I mean by that is, you don't want to be getting hung up in the rocks in every cast, but keep it moving and fish it as slow as you can.
After the action slowed down on the inlet, we moved back out onto the main lake. It was near dusk, but the light remained good enough on the calm lake that we decided to spend the remaining evening cruising the shoreline in hopes of locating cruising pike. And that paid off in spades.
Oh, he turned.
I know.
He's got it. I got him. Sweet. Got to see the eat and everything, man. That was awesome. Let me turn the boat. You all right?
Yeah. It's a big fish.
How's that?
That's a big pike.
So what happened there, bud?
We just came out of that little bay, and he was sitting in the middle of nowhere. And we've been seeing so many logs that look like fish, and I said, big pike, big pike. I put that little red and white guy on it. And
twitched it right by his head, came over, I saw him eat it.
Yeah.
How cool was that? What was cool was that you put it beside him, right, at his tail, and brought it up towards him. Yeah. He looked at it, 2 strips, and he came, big mouth. Look at all, let's get this guy out of here. Oh my gosh, Como Lake. For the first time being here, I'm pretty impressed.
That's a big pike. That is a big pike. I think he's getting ready here. 15-pound fish on. I'll bring him to you.
Oh my goodness. Yes! Can you believe this?
That is a big pike.
Holy. Oh, I didn't even catch him and I'm shaking. All right, guys, this is a 43-inch northern. We are gonna be very careful with her. Okay, You can clear the net. Good job, Rob.
Thanks, guys. That was fun.
It was a good fight. What we're gonna do is just make sure that she's okay, and she'll let me know when she's ready to go. I think she's ready. Thanks, sweetheart. What an unbelievable animal. Rob, is that your biggest northern?
That is my biggest northern.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
buddy.
man. And to get it the way we did, just spotting it out in the flats.
Soul stirring absolutely takes your breath away.
No, I know. And you know what? I'm a believer now. I get it. I've caught my share of pike, but mostly on conventional gear, and that was a riot.
Absolute thrill.
That was a riot.
It was a thrill to net it for you, my friend.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Leonard Thompson, 13 years old, diabetes mellitus, 65 pounds.
Starve the child to let them live? The treatment's as cruel as the disease. It's a death sentence.
Dr. Banting, this could be it. He's the first to receive this trial. But will it save him?
It's not pure enough.
So we try again. And again. And again.
Before the discovery of insulin, diabetes was a death sentence. Banting, Best, Collop, and MacLeod's breakthrough has saved millions of lives. Leonard Thompson's was the first.
Clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
The next morning, Jean took us on a drive along some of the remote roads around Chapleau. He didn't let us down as we encountered much of what the North has to offer in terms of wildlife. And it was a nice break, but we also had a plan in mind. It's hard to imagine this region without brook trout, and we wanted to find some. This region is wildly rugged, reminding me of the waters that I grew up on the East Coast. But where brook trout are concerned, timing is critical, and the region had suffered from a lack of rain for several weeks, leaving the streams low, warm, and clear. We gave it our due diligence and covered a good deal of water, and for our efforts, we did manage a few small brookies. But our takeaway from this was that this area needs to be explored in greater detail. It screams brook trout live here.
Fish. All right, it is a brook trout. We came into this little waterfall region in search of wild eastern brookies. Put on a red-headed woolly bugger, brown. Oh, look at the colors of this little guy. Oh, so fun. You know, no matter how big brook trout get, and no matter how big they actually are, they are still a wonderful, wonderful adversary on fly. They are super fun to catch. They're absolutely gorgeous. And in many systems, they're the apex predator, which means if you can catch them right away, I mean, they're gonna be on it just like crazy. Look at this guy. He's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like he's almost in his spawning colors. And with the white leading edges on those fins and the blue rings around the red halos, they really are one of nature's greatest creations. They live in cold water and they'll eat basically anything that they can put in their mouths. Look at the size of that fish versus the size of the fly. Case in point, right there. Thanks, pal.
Meet me with a
This area is, there's so much to offer, as in rivers and streams and lakes. We've got it all. Like the area of Chapleau, which is still within the Algoma district, has so much to offer for the angler, the hunter, anything you really want. It's here. It's all here. We have fully equipped cabins with hot and cold water, full kitchen amenities, propane stove, electric refrigerators. We are totally off the grid, but we have a diesel generator that powers the whole camp, and it works out perfect. We're true believers, Tracy and I, that to come out to a place like Como Lake Resort is to get away from that hustle and bustle of everyday life and take time to enjoy life and admire the surroundings and relax. People need to relax.
Hi, I'm Sharon Skelly, host and community producer of Community Close-Up on Rogers TV. We're back in studio after about 2 years with some great programming. Join me on Community Close-Up, where we meet great people from groups and organizations around Owen Sound and Grey County. And remember, it's your community, so take part. Join us again on Rogers TV or online.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together we're stronger. Tied tight, united we stand, in honor of one child's wish, to fuel the fire that will grant many more. Join the kingdom.
Lovely viewers, it's your host of On the Couch, Antoine El Hashim, reminding you to tune in for every episode of Season 9 of the longest running and most loved local queer talk show on Rogers TV. Check it out.
Back on Como Lake, the weather continued to be unstable, and for the most part, the fishing was challenging. But we persisted and found among Como's many islands and inlets enough shelter from the wind to be productive. And once again, Como did not disappoint.
Fish! Where are you going?
He's going to the deep water. Is that a big fish? It's a big bass.
I think it's a big bass. It's a big old bass.
Here, let me grab the net on him, Rob.
Yeah, it's a big bass.
That's a giant. Nice fish.
That's a big bass. Who dat? Who dat? This is a 9-weight rod, and I'm pushing this fish. I'm leaning on it. Oh. Come back. Ah, well done, Mark. Nice.
As we came around that island,
yeah,
we saw a fish move, and it was a significant move. There was a big splash. And I think you just found out what caused that big splash. Let's take a look at this.
That's a 3.5 pounder. Nice.
How fat that fish is.
3 pounds, maybe.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, nice.
All right, we'll take that. Barbless pike fly out. Here we go.
Yeah, not as big as I thought, but it's a good fish.
Yeah. Aggressive. Pre-spawn female. Look how big her belly is, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's get this girl back. See you, sweetheart.
Nothing to it. Well, that's it for this week. We had a great time at Como Lake Resort. The fishing was outstanding, the hospitality was second to none, and we'd like to thank John and Tracy for having us. If you'd like to learn more about this destination or others, join us at thenewflyfisher.com. And until next time, have fun and we'll see you on the water.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Algoma Country, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Ontario will be here waiting for you when it's safe to travel.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
What's up? Who's hot? Where's the latest action spot? Hints and tips, did you know? Milestones and local heroes. Sports, shorts, event reports, museum views of every sort. Celebrations and on location.
Plugged In, the TV show with what you want to know, what you need to know, and what you'd like to know about what's going on in your town this week.
Get plugged in, plug into your life, plug into here and now.
Get plugged in.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Scores! Milan Lucic!
Leafs, Habs,
Ripper Rivals,
Jets, Sens,
what a play!
and Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Blood in the urine is the most common symptom of bladder cancer. Don't ignore this warning sign, not even once.